Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi out here. It's Thursday Think Tank, and there's a lot to talk about today, honestly. Of course, the big, huge trade yesterday, Dame Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks for Jrue Holiday and all kinds of other stuff going every which way. And then also yesterday, ScottieBarnes finally made his return to Twitch and Twitch for 3 hours yesterday afternoon after the Damian Lillard trade was announced. I think that did have something to do with it. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff about Scottie and what he said on Twitch yesterday and what was going on Twitch yesterday also today. So let's dive right into this. There's all kinds of things I want to say today, and I am going to try and say every single one of them. And some of them are very, very important. But first, I want to start out with one very important thing. Raptors fans, shut the hell up, y'all. I love Raptors Nation. I love Raptors fans. But listen, this is a weird situation where I'm starting to realize who's mature and who isn't. There's people around this fan nation that are really acting incredulous, upset, and really messed up about us not landing Lillard yesterday. Y'all are crazy and stupid. In some ways, it says something to your maturity. In some ways, it says something to like, are you one of these people that's just a little extra? Are you one of these people that just expects things and like, this and this is just granted to you and shit like that? Because this is what it seems like to me. You know, you don't understand this whole situation. And in some ways, people coming after Masai Ujiri right now are falling into a propaganda trap that has been set by Ted Rogers III. You know, listen, there's two forces out there that hate Masai Ujiri running the Toronto Raptors. One of them is the U.S. media and the NBA teams south of the border. Every single one of those teams would hire Masai Ujiri to be their team president if we fired him today, tomorrow. They want him. Y'all don't understand this. The whole U.S. media down there makes dumb rumors and messed up stuff about the Raptors all the time because, first of all, sports rumors, there's no repercussions for them. You can lie out of your ass. You can make the most asinine, crazy-ass bullshit up, in which is probably 90% of all the talk about the Raptors with Dame Lillard in this past week. We don't know what's true or not. If you want to be emotionally manipulated by U.S. media to tell you that Masai's doing this, Masai's doing that, you are a fool, you are a dupe, you are a fucking idiot, is what I will say right now. Because listen, this is what they want. They want the fans to turn on Masai. They want Raptors Nation to say we don't want him anymore because they want him. They want to pry him right out of here so he can go get hired by the Knicks, so he can get hired by the Bulls, so he can get hired by the Wizards, so he can get hired by the Lakers. These teams all want him. When are y'all going to understand this, Raptors Nation, you idiots? If you get Masai fired because of some stupid talking shit all over social media and something like, I will never forgive you idiots. And I will divide this Raptors Nation with the Raptorsfreaks away from y'all idiots. Because I will not stand for this. If Ujiri loses his job in any kind of way because of that kind of pressure, because our own fans turned on him like this, did we not learn anything from Nick Nurse this year? That you can get it real bad going in the wrong direction if you push too hard with a lot of voices. And that's why I'm telling y'all to shut the fuck up right now. There was nothing for us with this Dame Lillard trade. It's a non-story. We weren't supposed to get him. We're glad we didn't get him. And I'm going to tell you more why we're glad we didn't get him. And all y'all there are like, why didn't we get him? Shut the fuck up right now. I'm going to say it over and over again today. And if anybody comes in my chat today with that kind of opinion today, you're going to see somebody get roasted real quick on this channel. The second place where we have people coming after Masai Ujiri is from his own board. Ted Rogers III publicly said that Masai Ujiri makes too much money. He thinks he's way overpaid, and he probably wants him to get out of there. Well, let's think about this. Ted Rogers, he owns Rogers. He owns Sportsnet. So why would it not make sense if he hates him and he wants him out that he would use his own media company to make propaganda against him? To try and make people turn on him to get him out because he doesn't want him on the team. He doesn't want him here either. Seriously, y'all got to be more smart and aware of the forces out there that are trying to mess up our team, whether it's the U.S. media and the U.S. teams down there wanting Ujiri for themselves or Ted Rogers having a personal vendetta against Masai Ujiri himself. And he is using all the forces of his media corporation to come at Masai also with an opinion also. So I caution every single one of y'all. If you see stuff on social media anytime right now that is derogatory towards Masai Ujiri, what you need to do is turn around and say, look, how many GMs in this league have won championships? How many GMs in this league have had a track record of the last 12 years of consistent winning amidst all kinds of crazy shit, like moving to Tampa and dealing with a team like the Clippers, tampering and coming and taking your finals MVP during your championship year? How many GMs have dealt with this kind of stuff? And how many GMs lose all the time, miss out on stuff? You know, the criticism of Pat Riley is pretty strong right now in Miami, and I get it because Miami fans are crazy. And they're like, why didn't we get Lillard? Why didn't we get Beal? Why didn't we get this? They may be coming after Pat Riley. And in some ways, I get their case. There's no reason to come after Masai. What did Masai do? He steered this team through hell in a lot of different ways in the last 3 years. And we're still standing. We're still somewhat of a competitor. It's only the perception down south that tells us we're bad. I can tell you right now, I got on Twitch with ScottieBarnes yesterday, and the people come at him in the same kind of way that they're coming at Masai right now. They're saying stuff like, why didn't we get Lillard? What's going on, Scottie? Oh my gosh, freaking out. You know what Scottie said? He said, what are y'all talking about? We did not lose it today. We didn't want him. He said, listen, we're good right now. Trust me. He said himself, he said, I got us. Scottie said it himself yesterday on Twitch. He said when he saw the Raptors fans reacting like that, he's like, what's wrong with y'all? The team's fine. We are very happy and we are ready to be successful. In fact, he went into detail about what he's been doing this summer as far as working on his shot. We watched the Rico Hines runs clip, the badass one where he's killing it. And he was telling us, I worked so hard on my shot this summer. I got my shoulders squared. I got my footwork right. I got all my fundamentals right. And he looks like he's got his shot better. You watch him. You see him shoot this year, and you will see Scottie's mechanics are perfect right now as far as with his shot. And it's going to show with his field goal percentage. So this is the thing. Scottie's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, why are y'all freaking out about Lillard like this? It's a non-story. It's a non-issue. Once again, it's bullshit and people being manipulated by propaganda, rumors, and bullshit and media companies to make you feel that way. Listen, y'all, we need to protect Masai. If you see areas where people are coming after him, you need to protect him because the more they say this bullshit, the more it'll be a consensus that they think the fans don't like the job he's doing, and that is not true. That is not true. The haters hate the job he's doing, but the real fans, the people that love Toronto, have to love the accomplishments and the time that Masai Ujiri's been with the Raptors this whole time. We want to continue to have him here. So let's stop this dumpster fire right now and tell all these Masai haters to shut the fuck up. I was about to cuss Ahmed Mann out yesterday because he's starting this shit. I get this. You work for Yahoo. You may even work for Rogers. In some ways, Ahmed Mann, I feel like you may be an agent for Ted Rogers III. You're going to come in like that. You're saying, oh, I'm going to come into media day and ask all these questions. Okay, go ahead. Ask them. What are you going to get from it? Yeah, we had a deal. We tried to make a deal with them. Milwaukee had a better package. Dame Lillard wanted to go to Milwaukee more than Toronto. It worked better for him to go to Milwaukee. It doesn't work with us. That we would have had to sell the farm. And in some ways, that was not attractive. That was not attractive. Anything that we would have done for him. And in some ways, we did not need to get him. Trust me. I don't think Milwaukee got better yesterday. Seriously, Skip Bayless doesn't think so. A lot of other people are saying that they lost the best defender on their team, Jrue Holiday. I'm telling y'all, this is a dumb move by Milwaukee in some ways. Some people will say, oh, no, they're going to be really good. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this is different. And it's not a slam dunk win for them, honestly. In fact, I think the win was yesterday was for Phoenix. Phoenix is the big winner yesterday. In fact, they added depth to their already top-heavy team with some real good talent. So now Phoenix is looking like they are shaping into a better team with a little bit better defensive center and use of Nurkic and just better players coming in like Nasir Little and stuff like that. So, yeah, Phoenix the big winner yesterday. Milwaukee, yeah, sure. It looks good. It's real fancy looking. And Portland, you're such losers. Oh, my God, Portland. Portland. That's what I'm trying to say. We could be Portland's GM in front office right now. Who do you have to replace Masai if you want to get him fired, Raptors people? that want him fired so much. Who the fuck is going to come and take the job after him? Did you know how we felt when we fired Nick earlier this year and we were 2 months without a coach and it was weird and awkward and kind of like, what the fuck is going to happen next? And we still don't know if our coach is going to be successful that we got new. We'll get it. Oh man, at the GM level, it's even tougher and crazier and even harder to figure it out. Masai Ujiri is a hand that steadies the ship and keeps it sailing in the right direction. I won't necessarily trust somebody else to come in and take the job after him to do the job correctly. So we need to understand and value the importance and how awesome and amazing this man is for our team and how he has been for over a decade now. So I'm sorry. I'm going to be a no tolerance for Masai Ujiri bashing in this stream for this whole entire year. If I hear shit like I heard about Fred last year, this year about Masai, oh, have mercy on your soul if you step into my live stream with that kind of attitude. I will tell you that right now. Yes, I will. All right, let me get into the comments, y'all. Good morning. So happy to be with the Raptor Freaks on a talkative Thursday think tank. There is a lot to talk about. Scott's return to Twitch, baby. Woo! He was so happy to see us. And in some ways, it was just like going back to school. It was like that first day back at school. Oh, there's whatchamacallit, Guerrilla Marketing. There's Erica Plays. Cool Cat's here. Isaac Campbell. Tom Dookie. Lloyd's here. There's Jay and Nick playing the game with Scott. It was just like the summer of 2022 with ScottieBarnes Twitch family was reunited. Yesterday, Scott was like, I don't even know how long it's been since I've been here. I said, it was last October, Scott. He's like, really? It's been almost a year? He said, I didn't do it for a while because I had to get used to the idea of y'all watching me and like kind of like doing this. And I'm like, I think I'm okay with it now at this point. You know, I get it, Scott. And this is what I wrote him in that moment. I said, listen, last year was difficult. It was up and down. It was unsure. It was like totally not like comfortable. Why would you be comfortable being on Twitch with the public coming at you with comments and all kinds of crazy stuff? All the Gradey dick jokes yesterday in the stream were messed up, and they had to get rid of that word. They weren't allowed to use dick after a while in there because there was everybody in there was trying to be funny and witty with the Gradey dick jokes. But anyway, Scott said, he's like, look, I couldn't be on, and I get that. There was too much confusion and weirdness with the season last year. There's no reason for you to be on Twitch if you don't have to be or you don't want to be. Seriously, you don't have to do it. It's not mandatory, but we love when you do show up and you say hi to all of us. It was awesome, man. It was just like old times, and we got 3 hours of it, and it really was just like old times. He played some 2K. He watched some Rico Hines runs, clips of the team running over there. He was really funny watching the Rico Hines runs. Talked about that dunk with Ron Harper, the look off. He's saying, I was daring him to block me. I was like, you going to come and try and block me, Ron Harper Jr.? He's like, okay, come on, try. He's looking at him, and then he dunks it. Yeah, he talked about that. he's like, yeah, I wanted to see if he would try and block me. He said some really cool stuff. He was really talking up his teammates, and he really likes playing with Jakob. He was talking about Jakob a bit too yesterday. All right, let me get in your comments. I'm sorry, I got so much to download of information to tell y'all about yesterday, whether it's the trade or Scottie's Twitch activities. Nameless is saying, Raptors unwilling to part with OG or Dame would be in a Raptors uniform. Personally, I'm relieved. I was never comfortable with that move. I just figured it was common consensus. 5 picks and Gradey, essentially 6 picks. Nah, bro, we're good on that. We're not doing a half decade with no picks for a player nearly my age. Yeah, I think the final deal that they revealed that the Raptors had on the table was actually not even OG. It was Gary, Gradey, and Thaddeus or something like that. And it was a bunch of picks. Now, people are saying, why didn't the Raptors capitalize on this if the Portland Trailblazers took so little from Milwaukee? You've got to realize the crux of that deal is Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is the most valuable player in some ways, even over OG, definitely over Tyler Hero. And they're going to be able to flip him very quickly, and there is a huge demand for him right away. So Portland is still in the middle of trade talks, and there are little rumblings about us with Jrue Holiday, but it doesn't make any sense. We don't need to be involved in this one. Haven't the media people done enough stupid-ass propaganda bullshit about Toronto and trades already this week? We don't need to be involved in this Jrue Holiday stuff either. I mean, he's a great player, and I'd love to see him in a Raptors jersey, don't get me wrong. but in some ways it doesn't fit with what we're trying to do or anything with the salary cap. So let him go on and go somewhere else. Hopefully he plays in the Western Conference and not in the Eastern Conference this year. So yeah, I didn't like any of the trades. Gradey Dick very much was highly sought after by the Portland Trailblazers. And you know what, in some ways, Masai and Bobby were just kind of like, you know what, they described them as being fantasy owners that like kind of have deals that they send to people, like 5 deals every day. I think this is how David was playing in the beginning. David Zamoran's style of fantasy, where he gives you 5 trades and then he jerks them back and like kind of all this stuff. They were trying to describe Masai like that. And the propaganda machine that I was describing earlier. And the fans came on there and said, they sound like me. They're awesome. They're my person. That's what I do in my fantasy league. They weren't upset about that. They were trying to make it sound like it's a bad thing. They said, no, sometimes that's a smart strategy as a fantasy GM. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad the deal didn't happen either. When I saw it finally went through and it was Milwaukee, you know, in some ways it was like, okay, he's in Milwaukee. That's trouble. But in some ways also I'm relieved it's not Toronto. I really was relieved it wasn't Toronto. And then also I'm kind of like, you know, this makes more sense. You know, Lillard has very publicly stated the one player in the league he'd like to play with is Giannis. So we know that this was a place to go. Now people are saying, how does this fit in with the Giannis thing where he made the demand of the team to get better so that he can stay in Milwaukee? Well, it does kind of fit that, but it can also backfire. The leaving of Jrue Holiday is going to be similar to like Marcus Smart leaving Boston. And it's going to look weird with Milwaukee in some ways. In some ways, this could be a little bit of a string that unravels things with Giannis and Milwaukee eventually. That in some ways, it could very well be that this doesn't work exactly. They don't win as much as they did with Jrue Holiday. And Giannis is still asking to leave next summer. So we'll just have to see how it goes. It's still early. Thank you for the super chat. Who is that? Is that Race Mode Daily? That is Race Mode Daily. He's saying, I've been back to the office this summer and I'm trying to stay away from NBA gossip. Seems like I can't miss today's show. In Masai we trust. Let's go, Dennis Schroeder. I'm a fan. Lex is on fire. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate you. And Edmund, you will see me the first week of our NBA Fantasy League. The matchup schedule made us have the opening matchup. So Race Mode Daily, get ready for this draft Sunday at 9:45 during my live stream on Sunday morning. We will be drafting our NBA team. So I hope you get your auto rankings ready or you are there present and live. Edmund, I've missed you this summer. I noticed that you've been away, but I've seen a lot of what you've been doing also on your Instagram and fantastic stuff. Your field and what you do is amazing. And I really, it's awesome that you're filming race stuff all over the place and the equipment you have. You're a busy guy. I totally get it. And your support and time with me is very welcome whenever you are able to be here, obviously. Oh, man. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate it. And there was all right, let's keep going in the chat. Nako saying would have been low-key disappointed if Gradey was in a Raptors uniform opening night. Griffin's got a fucking nice roster for his first coaching job. Poor Jrue. I know the day before Jrue said, I want to be a Buck till I retire. I won't really want to play for any other team. Well, they turn around and do that to him. That's messed up. It's a brutal business. It seems like as soon as somebody starts saying stuff like that, they get traded. It's like DeMar said that too, and then we traded him. It's messed up. Now, Gradey is interesting. Yeah, this was a really funny story from ScottieBarnes yesterday. We're on Twitch, and it's right around 6 o'clock last night. And Scottie goes, hey, guys, did you know that Gradey's going to throw the first pitch at the Blue Jays game tonight? And we're all like, no, we didn't know that. It's like we don't normally know that. Usually they don't announce who's throwing the first pitch earlier in the day. They have kind of a surprise person that's there. Blue Jays fans know. They go to the game, and all of a sudden they're saying, and here to throw out the first pitch, Toronto Raptors rookie Gradey Dick. And then he comes out, and he's like, hi. And then, he winds it up. And he throws that right down the middle with the heat, like he said. Scottie's talking about this at 6 p.m. last night. The game's at 7:07, right? The regular Blue Jays start time. And he's like, y'all know that Gradey's going to throw the first pitch tonight? And we're like, no, only don't know. He's like, oh, y'all don't know this? Maybe I shouldn't tell y'all. So Scottie said, maybe I shouldn't be telling y'all this. Y'all don't tell anybody else that I told y'all that. I know this because I just know. And he's like telling us this. And so it's like I was joking with Scottie, and I said, Scottie, it's a Woj bomb. It's a Scottie Woj bomb because he's Woj bombing that Gradey's going to throw the first pitch. And Scottie read it. He's like, Scottie Woj bomb. He's like, no, it's not like that, is what he said. He was reading a lot of my comments again yesterday. which was fun. I wrote to him, I was like, it's going to be cool to see Dennis was throwing such good passes to Franz at FIBA World Cup. He's going to throw them to you. And Scottie saw that comment. He's like, yeah, Dennis was really good at FIBA. And the way Franz was playing was awesome too. I saw that, is what Scottie said. So he did see some of the FIBA World Cup stuff. And he did glowingly talk about Dennis yesterday. He very much did. He's like, Dennis is really good. I'm like excited about playing with him, is what ScottieBarnes said on his Twitch yesterday. So yeah, this is good. This is good. Scottie said a lot of interesting things yesterday. He said yesterday with his shoes on, he now is 6'11". Yeah, he said it himself. People were asking him, "How tall are you, Scottie? How tall are you?" And he said, "I'm 6'11" now, y'all. And I can't disagree with him. I've seen the Rico Hines clips of him standing next to Jakob Poeltl and the rest of them, and he looks like he's almost 7 foot. Just because the NBA propaganda machine wants to slight him and say he's 6'8", that's a way, seriously, that they try and slight and take down superstars kind of mentality, make him shorter in the league. He is 6'11". He's self-professed. He's probably been measured by the team, and they told him that. It's not like he's like making it up. He probably goes in and gets measured for this. And the last time the Raptors measured him, he was 6'11" and standing in his shoes. So you tell me, this kid is still growing. I told y'all this is going to happen when he came in as a rookie 2 years ago, that this young man is going to continue to grow. And he has. He's now 6'11". It's official. He said it from his mouth. I'm not going to disagree with him. He knows himself. What, these fucking NBA people are going to try and say he's 6'7" or 6'8", or were they right? No. Scottie's going to know his own height. Come on. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, Trevor Jay's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Good morning to you, Commissioner Jay. Always happy to see Commissioner Jay in the chat, our commissioner of fantasy sports and other related fun activities. That's right. Mo is here, the super fan. Monique Lawrence, the greatest, is here. Good morning, everyone. Bye, Dame. Thank God it's over. I celebrated big time. Everyone needs to stop the hate from Masai. Amit Man, please. And Oren Weisfeld, Pascal will return. Shaking my fucking head. Yeah, Oren Weisfeld is a real chicken little about Pascal's extension. He's like, oh my gosh, make it happen now. Now that Lillard's done, can we just sign Pascal now? Can y'all not understand logic? Can y'all not understand things? Oren Weisfeld, you're a young, nice person, but you're a very intelligent person. Why can't you figure this out with logic, Oren Weisfeld? Seriously, you're a very smart guy. I love you. You're one of the better Raptors people in the media. Honestly, Oren Weisfeld, I like you. I'm going to give you a little tip here. Let's do logic real quick, Oren. Pascal Siakam can make two different deals this year. He can either get the Supermax or the Max. And, well, he has an opportunity to still try and get the Supermax. Why the fuck would he sign his extension at the beginning of the season if he still wants to try and go for good money this year? There's nothing to worry about with this. He won't burn us next summer. Trust me. He will not. He will stay with us. It's just we're going to see what rate he gets for how he performs this year. And he should be allowed the chance to go out there and play an all-NBA season, get all-NBA, and get the Supermax. So why would it be in his interest to try and sign his extension right now at the max level when he may be eligible for Supermax? Hello, it's just logic. And it's not him dissing the Raptors. It's not him because he wants to leave or not be with us. It's because he wants to make the most possible money. And that totally makes sense. There's a clip that's coming out yesterday that I just seen of Fred VanVleet saying that he did get offered a contract extension at the beginning of the year. He very much said during the season that he didn't. He lied. Fred lied. Fred said that the Raptors did not offer him a contract extension at the beginning of the year. He was full of shit and he was lying. And that was part of the thing that kind of pisses me off about Fred. He made people believe that the front office of the Raptors did not extend an extension to him anytime during the season. Well, they did. He admitted that they did, and he declined it. So when Fred said that they never came to me with an offer, he lied. So y'all know it's come out, and this is the truth now. He said recently that they did offer him an extension. He declined it. So this is the thing. There's so much bullshit, lies, rumors out there today. Really take what is real and take that, and not the hearsay, not the fucking bullshit about this bullshit that's going on right now with Dame Lillard and what possibly could have been a trade with the Raptors. People see how little Dame Lillard was gotten with Milwaukee. And they're like, why didn't the Raptors do that? Well, the fit wasn't right. And Jrue Holiday wasn't in our package. And in some ways, that's the biggest factor in this whole thing. That's the biggest factor right there. Dame being happy. In some ways, they got to talk to Dame about it. It's like, well, we have Toronto and Milwaukee with deals here. He's like, well, I prefer Milwaukee. I know he prefers Milwaukee. He's one of those American guys that's not cool with Canada. Seriously. And it's true. He is very close with DeMar DeRozan. As soon as he signed with Milwaukee, DeMar posted something on his Instagram celebrating Lillard going to Milwaukee. They're close friends. And it could very well be that Lillard has something against Masai Ujiri for trading DeMar like he did 5 years ago. So, there's a lot of layers to this. It's not as cut and dry that the Raptors could have just landed Lillard. In some ways, it's awkward and it would have been clumsy and clunky, and it wouldn't have served our interests probably. It may have been a really bad move. Really, really bad move. So in some ways, I'm happy we dodged this bullet. And in some ways, I'm glad it's Milwaukee that he went to. Seriously. Even though it is an Eastern Conference rival. And I like the Milwaukee team. I like Giannis. If Giannis is successful with Dame Lillard, I'm not going to hate on that. In fact, I'm very happy for Adrian Griffin that he's going to have 2 Hall of Famers that he gets to coach in his first year as a coach. So I can't hate on the Bucks for this. This is a great move for them. In some ways, it's a better fit for Lillard. I'll agree to that. This is a better fit for Lillard than it is coming to Toronto. And we just got to be realistic. And it's not like we got to win everything, Raptors fans. So just shut the fuck up if you're upset about this trade not coming here. Seriously, pause and think about this a little bit deeper. I'm watching you closely. You can go ahead and go to the media day and ask your questions that you're posting on Twitter. Go ahead. We do want the answers. But seriously, don't start stoking the fires of hate and animosity towards Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster. That doesn't help anything. You're an agent of chaos and destruction and possibly somebody working on behalf of Ted Rogers III if I see any more of that behavior coming from you. You did a little bit of it last year already. I can tell you have a proclivity to be critical of Masai Ujiri, and I'm going to come and check you real quick every single time you do it. There's an account on Twitter called Pascal Propaganda, and I'm wanting somebody to build a Masai Propaganda account today. We need it. We need it on there right now to stand up for our GM and team president and let this man do his job and stop having all these people analyzing every single thing. It's like, listen, I'm in a very respectable, awesome, knowledgeable Raptors fan group called Give Me Some Raptors News. It's run by the Confederacy of Dunks guys, Freddie Rivas, and there's very smart people in there, and very, very smart people, including the owner of Comedy Bar, Gary Rideout, and many, many other people, comedians from around town. They are confused about this thing. They think that we lost because we didn't get Lillard yesterday. They're freaking out and saying stupid shit on there, like, oh, Masai keeps missing. He has misses at the plate. What the fuck is this? This isn't baseball. And if you really want to go look at batting averages for GMs across the league, I'll bet you Masai is like a Barry Bonds compared to most of these guys that are doing the job across the league. Seriously, Masai Ujiri is one of the few good GMs in the NBA. There are way more good coaches in the league, but the very, very few GMs that are good. And y'all need to put respect and honor that man and protect him if you hear people coming after him and talking shit about him right now. Because seriously, we do not understand just how there is not good people in that position overall in the NBA everywhere. It's not like GMs grow on trees. They really have to be successful, and most of them are not, and they suck. So when you got one that's successful and proven, you protect them and you keep them, even through times that are tough. Y'all are such short memories. Masai has been successful his whole entire time here in Toronto. You can say, oh, he was 500 last year. That's 1 year. And every team has different levels of stages, just like a larvae goes to a pupae to a butterfly. If you're going to develop a team correctly over time, you need to take the time to have kind of half mid years, losing years, and different kinds of years to get back to that really top winning year where you win it all again. And you think we're going to have more confidence in some Joe Schmo jabroni is going to come in and take the GM job if we fire him? No, we have better confidence and better things because Masai is in charge. And man, I will get so mad about this. I will be cussing some people. I'm telling you right now, I will be cussing some people. Trevor J saying sigh of relief. I can breathe now. You said breathe, but it's breathe. You can breathe now. Trevor J, you can breathe now. Now let's get it, Raptors, and show everybody we can still kick their ass. That's right. Scottie said that yesterday. He's really confident about this team. It wasn't just on CBC when he talked about the condo that we're going to win. Expect for us to win. And I'm coming there seriously. He means this. This dude means this. There's a different attitude to him right now. He's a little bit older. He's a little bit more worldly. He's a little bit more like I can stand on my own 2 feet in the NBA and be more of who I want to be in the NBA right now. And that's what people is going to catch people off surprise. Other than him being a little bit taller, his shot being a bit better, he's going to catch people by surprise this year. Watch. And he's totally confident in the Raptors. He's not a disgruntled star. It was like the fans saying, I don't understand what the Raptors are doing. These motherfuckers on this team understand what they're doing. That's the funny thing. Fans are like, I don't understand what the Raptors are doing. I don't understand what the Raptors are doing. Well, the players understand. At least they understand. And that's good. And y'all don't need to know, obviously. If you can't figure it out, that we have a young core that we're growing from within and developing within, and we're going to rise with, then what are you even watching basketball for? You just want a slam dunk like Lillard come in to save everybody? We don't need that. Scottie's here to save us. In fact, he said that. He said, we don't need anybody. Y'all keep talking like we need someone to come save us. It's like, no, I've got us, is basically what Scottie was saying yesterday on Twitch. So, yeah, Monique saying, love seeing the excitement of Scottie back on Twitch. How nice. It's just fun. It is just fun. I'm in there talking to old friends like Durrani, Guerrilla Marketing, people I hadn't seen in a year, Flo Kid, Flower. You know, there's all kinds of regulars that we got to know last year from being on there regularly. And it really was like coming back to school. And first day of school and seeing everybody back and like, hey, oh my gosh. Cool Cat came in, of course, and was commenting on Cardi, who was sitting in the corner on the screen, laying on the floor. And Cool Cat's like, is that Cardi laying behind you, Scottie? And I was like, yep, there's Cardi. And Cardi is giant. Cardi is a full-size Rottweiler at this point. A very big dog. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Dana saying, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad we didn't get Dame. I am too. I don't think it would have been a good move for us. And I think that Raptors fans are freaking out about it or going on about it. You're putting yourself through misery you don't need to. Can you just get over yourself? And kind of like, why are you so upset about this? Like, seriously, you just need something to be upset about. Well, why don't you go get upset at Ford and come after Doug Ford and the government instead? You don't need to be upset at the Raptors affairs. Use that anger and animosity and injustice for something else. Like, channel it into something else, because there's no point in what you're trying to do with being upset about this. This is so stupid. It's like, I can't believe how some of the Raptors fans are acting on social media yesterday. How dumb y'all are. You're either immature or you're just stupid. There's only one of those two things. Either you're young and you don't know any better, or you're just a dumb person and you're older. That's the only things I can think of for people that are having a hissy fit about us not landing Lillard yesterday. Seriously. Trevor J saying, today's to celebrate. All right, hang on. I jumped way ahead. Let me make sure I get it. Man, I love seeing all the names in here, filling it up. I'm so happy. If you're new to the channel, thanks for subscribing and joining. And, get your comments in. I'll read every single one of them. Trevor's saying, today, to celebrate the wonderful things in your life, show appreciation to the people who are still around with love and joy. There you go. Appreciate the people in your life that you really, really, are happy to have around. Make sure they hear this. I saw a recent TED Talk talking about how eulogies at funerals, in some ways, they're sad because the person doesn't get to hear it. Well, why don't we eulogize people while they're still alive? Take that moment to go talk to somebody that you love, that, you want to get these words out before you can't. If you don't do it, you may have some misgivings and feelings about it. So definitely, if you have a chance and there's somebody you love in your life and you can talk to them today, tell them how you feel. Don't wait. Just go ahead and say it. And that it'll make you feel better. You can breathe easier, and you'll know that you have said the things that you want to say to that person, just in case. Mo saying, hi, Dana. I knew Dame wasn't coming all along. See, Mo was like blocking it. She was like Mono-knowing it. She was like, Mono-no. She's like, no. Yeah, she was like, no, she was blocking it. Dana's saying that, Mo, I had a feeling he wasn't coming. I didn't want him, but stranger things have happened. I like what Milwaukee did. They did fleece Portland. They did make a really good deal. And if we had gotten a deal that was kind of like that, I would have been like Masai's a genius. And we could have possibly, maybe, but it is what it is. It wasn't the right fit. And I'm relieved. Like, honestly, I know Scottie was relieved too. He wants to play with OG. He wants to play with Gary. He wants to play with Gradey and Chris. He doesn't want to play with Lillard. He wants to play with his dudes, the guys he's been with already. And that's OG Anunoby, And Lillard is not that dude. I'm sorry. That's it. That's just how it is. Tom Duke saying Monono. That's right. We might have some Mononos coming up in the future. When Mo says no, that's a Monono. I would say that. I'll bring up a player. I was like, Mo, what do you think about DeAndre Ayton coming to the Raptors? She's like, no. Tom Duke saying, good day to you, sir, Tom Duke. It's so good to see you in the ScottieBarnes Twitch stream yesterday. And of course, Tom Duke comes in and gives a bunch of subs to everybody for as always. And Scottie was happy to see Tommy Duke in his chat also saying, Tommy Ducarelli is back. Canadian Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptorsfreaks. Bam, what a beautiful day. Can't wait to play the Bucks. Let's grow, Raptors. That's right. Grow within. Grow with development. Grow with your young superstars like Precious Achiuwa, Grady Dick, Gary Trent Jr., Christian Coloco, and ScottieBarnes. That's what I'm talking about right now, Raptors fans. Get ready to get to see some leaps and bounds with our young players coming this season. You're going to see it. Trevor J saying, no. How you like it? No. Cowboys saying no, and no, like Lex says. I love it. So happy we got everybody. Still, let's go Raptors. There you go. See, we aren't upset about this. We love our guys. We trust in Masai, and we're going to be good. Y'all just chill out. I seriously have this term called chicken littling. And sometimes Raptor fans are chicken littling too much. They're like, oh, the sky is falling. I don't believe you, Chicken Little, saying that the sky is falling. You saying the sky is falling? What sky is falling, you dumbass little Chicken Little? That's what I want to say to these idiots. MSJ saying, seems according to Jimmy Butler, the NBA wanted this one. And why not? NBA Finals will be a matchup of two MVPs and Jokic and Giannis. LeBron, they can create the matchups now and ref accordingly. Yeah, Jimmy Butler really, I don't know. Some ways I'm losing respect for Jimmy. That's really dumb. You get on Instagram immediately after the deal comes and you say that you think that the Milwaukee Bucks tampered. I know he was kind of saying it tongue in cheek, but it's also kind of dumb. Like, why would you do that, bro? Just shut up and let what happened happen. It wasn't in the cards for Miami to get him. And I know you're upset about it, obviously, because you're going to accuse the Milwaukee Bucks of tampering. How's that fucking tampering? All the different teams are talking at the same time. There's no fucking tampering, Jimmy Butler. You idiot. In some ways, I'm like, man, I'm starting to think he was in Toronto last week because he was scouting to make sure that Lillard wasn't coming here. He was like, oh, man, I got to be in Toronto and make sure the Toronto Raptors aren't trying to steal Dame Lillard from us. Well, you should have fucking went to Milwaukee, bitch. That's what I say right now. Jimmy, you should have went to Milwaukee. That's right. So good. Oh my gosh. G saying, when Dame was asked on Twitter at some point whom he wants to play with, he said Giannis. Giannis chose him first in the All-Star selections. Dame had a say in going to the Bucks, in my opinion. That's exactly right. G is exactly right. Exactly right. In some ways, they may have asked him straight up. We have two deals. It's kind of like the Brogdon thing with Celtics. It's like you can either go to the Raptors or the Bucks. He's like, well, I love Giannis, and I don't want to go to Canada. Boom, Bucks. There you go, Raptors fans. It's that easy. He didn't want to be here with us anyway. We didn't want him anyway. That's where it is right there. There you go. Cool Cat is here. Good morning, Raptorsfreak crew. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. So happy to see you in the Twitch stream with ScottieBarnes yesterday. That's right. G saying Masai has no control over where superstars want to go and what teams value more in trades. People breathe, please, and chill. Exactly. These entitled idiots around Raptors Nation thinking, oh, we should just get superstars handed to us. Y'all just shut the fuck up. You do not understand how difficult it is to be the GM of the Toronto Raptors. There's a lot of extra stuff you have to deal with on top of the regular stuff that every GM in the NBA has to deal with. And this is why we need an extra superpowered GM. And this is why the people in the States want him out. Because they don't want the Raptors to compete like they do. And they know Masai Ujiri is the main reason why the Raptors compete over and over again every single year. So listen, you want to spite your face, to cut your nose off? That's so stupid. You idiot Raptors fans that want Masai fired. You don't know what you want. You want destruction of our team. You want to set our team back 20 years so that we don't win another championship for almost 50 to 100 years from now? Seriously, y'all. Get some perspective, think big picture, and understand you're being manipulated to go after Masai by people that hate the Raptors. You're duped. You're like idiots that follow MAGA. You seriously are. If you're buying into this whole hype that Masai's doing a bad job right now, you have been duped by the U.S. media and Ted Rogers III. And that's on you, you damn dumbass. You need to wake up and understand that you have been manipulated and that your perception has been shaped by Rogers communications because Rogers hates him. I mean, seriously, how is it not easy to figure this out? Now, take that kind of example in the sports world and apply it to the political world and understand how people are manipulating the way you think and feel about things. Often they do it through fear. Like you're afraid, oh, Pascal's not going to extend. Oh, no, we didn't get Dame Lillard. We're not going to be good. If you're basing any of your judgments on the Raptors on fear-based motives, whether, oh, no, Siakam's going to leave. Oh, no, we didn't get Lillard and we're going to lose now. You are a chicken little loser and you live your life in fear. I don't live that way. I'm courageous and bold and ready to get the good things in life and not scared like y'all are, acting like scared little babies. Oh, we didn't get Lillard. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to come hard at y'all today because I am not with getting Jrue taken out of our team. No, I'm not in any kind of way. Tom Duke has got 5 gifted subscriptions for the channel. Thank you, Tom. He's doing it here. What he's doing on Scottie's stream. He's gifting subscriptions everywhere. Oh my gosh. That's right. Seymour's saying it right there. Hashtag rely on Masai. Now more than ever. Seriously, every corner you see this, fight back. Say it back. Say that other voice the other way because we cannot have anything like what happened with Nick happen with Masai. Seriously. In some ways, Nick did need to get fired and he needed to move on because we needed that change. We do not need the change in Masai. Trust me. If you're a real Raptors fan, if you are pushing to get Masai fired, I hate you. You are not a Raptors fan in my world because honestly, he's the best thing we've got in this city other than the players that are on this team. So we need this dude around. Trust me. Seriously. MSJ saying, and let's not forget, this is a great trait for Dame himself. Rather, the most important perspective. He never wanted to be here. He wants a chip, and he has one hell of a running mate now. Masai's fine. Now, I kind of have a problem with your comment, Chris, because he could have won a chip here, too. It's not that he chose Milwaukee because in some ways that's bullshit. And that's part of the perception. You've bought into it. He could still want a chip here. So I don't make that distinction that that's part of the reason why he went there. No, the main reason is it's in the States and it's Giannis. Those are the 2 main reasons there. Giannis is probably number 1 reason. And the second reason, well, I don't have to go to Canada. He doesn't want to come here. I mean, I can tell. He's one of those guys. He's one of those Americans that's not real keen on being in a Canadian team. He just isn't. There's been a lot more kind of clips and stuff, and it just shows. You can tell from his group, his guys that he hangs out with, his posse, he has a posse like Kawhi. He probably has some Uncle Dennis kind of type person who's like, you don't need to be in Canada. You don't need to be wasting your time up there. You need to be in the States. So he has handlers and he has people around him that are probably anti-Canada, just like Kawhi did. So we need to realize that. We need to realize that about Lillard and his entourage. Seriously. MSJ, thank you for your comment. Stargate saying, thank you, Lex. Yeah, I'm going to go off on this. And y'all, if you see it in other places, just echo what I'm saying and say what you have to say about it too. Because honestly, this is out of pocket and stupid. And they're capitalizing on it because they really do want him ousted. And if you want to be a part of that mob of pitchforks coming after Masai, I cannot be with you on that. I cannot. In fact, I'll stand in between him and you and try and protect him as best as I can. Because if you're a real Raptors fan, you will protect Masai Ujiri. Trust me. If it gets really, really bad and we got to fire someone, we fire Bobby before we fire Masai. Okay, y'all? Seriously. G is saying, Lex, unfortunately, a lot of fans, especially newer ones, are manipulated by the U.S. media. This is exactly right. And can y'all understand, younger fans that are true Raptors fans, can you hear me? The U.S. media does not like Masai Ujiri running the Toronto Raptors. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit to make y'all hate him so that they hope that we fire him so that he can go run a U.S. NBA team instead. You know, in some ways, I don't think Masai would do that. If he actually lost his job, I don't know if he would go to the team down there. I think he might just leave basketball afterwards. Seriously. He might go and start doing politics. He might go and start running the basketball league in Africa or something like that instead. I doubt he might go down there. That's how diehard and dedicated he is to this team right here on my heart. Is he's got that over his heart too. They think that he can be bought like a mercenary, but I don't think that's true about him. I don't think that's true about him. That'd be the craziest thing. I hope this never ever happens. But if he was ousted, they may find out he doesn't want to come and take one of their jobs. Seriously. Seriously. Yeah, there you go. Cowboys saying no, 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 MSJ. NBA Finals is the Raptors, and who cares? That's right. That's right. Correct your mug, brother. You do not think that way, Chris. Do not limit your mind with what the Raptors are and what they can be, just like the media wants you to. It's not. That's not how the players are thinking. That's not how Darko's thinking. That's not how Masai is thinking, and that's not how I'm thinking either. All right, yeah, preach on. Next, yeah, good job, Masai. Thank you, Cowboy. Stargate saying, I say it all the time, Lex. Adolescent prattle talking fools. Exactly. Stargate, you hit the nail on the head. It's just idiocy. It's just dumbassery. It's in some ways they're impatient little shits that really don't understand that basketball on the there's somebody posted this. I'm going to go look at this real quick because I think this is amazing. Honestly, this is so on point and exactly right. I posted this in the Raptorsfreak family, and this is Jabari Parker, who has gone to Europe recently, and he listed all the reasons why the NBA is messed up. And he's exactly right on all of them. This is what Jabari said. A lot of truth in what he said. The NBA by far has the best talents in the world, but the game took a hit. And these are the reasons why. He says analytics made teams play to patterns. Okay, I can agree with that. Veterans got pushed out of the league. Yeah, we've seen that. Only stars are allowed to take mid-range shots. Yeah, we've seen that trend. Post play got eliminated. Yeah. The league went too young. Yes. Rules are softer than ever. They're going to be even softer this year. I saw the Marty McCutcheon referee stuff that they do at the beginning of the year, and they're making the rules even softer. Trust me. Scoring is very inflated. Yes, that's part of it. Non-3-point shooters take threes. That's right. Everybody takes threes, even people that should not be taking them. Games are too up and down the court. Yeah, there's a bit of that. In some ways, a half-court game has things to it that are interesting and strategical that are just lost in today's game. Defensive players often disabled, for sure. The defensive side is not being keyed on or matter to the NBA at this point. Hard to keep up night to night. Okay, I don't know if that one's that's kind of only 4 or 6 real contenders. I don't know if that's totally true either. I would say there's at least 10 real contenders each year. It seems like there's only 4 or 6, but it's because the media machine doesn't put light on some of the ones that are contenders also. Owners' power versus stars' power. Okay, I get what that's going on. No teams have a core for 3 or 4 years. Now, this is the one I'm talking about right here, is that teams can't build cores over years because the impatience of the younger fans is calling for stuff too quickly. And in some ways, there is a natural progression of becoming a better and better team over time to get to a championship that is being lost because fans are too impatient and they call for trades, they call for firings, they call for this and that way too quickly. It wasn't this way when I was y'all's age, youngsters. We really let these teams do their jobs and try and find their way to do things. And then some teams, like the Utah Jazz, they never won a championship, but those fans were so happy with Stockton Malone and being in the playoffs, being a winning team years after years. They were a very happy franchise. And it wasn't all just about the championship or bust bullshit. There's places you can be in the NBA that are good that aren't being a champion. You can be a winning team and the team's very fun to watch and entertaining and good things. And then you'll win a championship down the road. Y'all just don't understand how it takes to build up to it. It's really fucked up, the perception and the way they've shaped the game to build these kind of young people's minds to think this is what the NBA is supposed to be. This is not what the NBA is supposed to be. Jabari Parker's right, and it's being ruined in the sake of ratings and showcase stuff. It's not real basketball anymore. And more people are realizing this. The NBA is a superstar showcase show, and it has nothing to do with team basketball or playing a basketball or defense or physicality or anything like that. It's a superstar showcase league. And it honestly, it's pitiful in some ways. I hate this kind of league. I understand why the old heads like Basketball Time Machine don't like today's product and don't watch it anymore. There's a lot of older basketball fans that are turned on by today's product because it is so offensive minded. It doesn't have the defensive and physical attributes that it used to. And that's part of the problem right there, is right there. And I mean, his list goes on. He says there's way too much player movement, individualization of the game. That's right. No team play. Free agency and trades are too hyped. And most analysis is gossip or debates. Holy crap, those last two. They talk more about stupid shit like Dame Lillard's trade yesterday than actual basketball mechanics and stuff. Samson Folk, he actually talks about basketball stuff like plays and movements and stuff. We need more people like him instead of people like Aaron Rose that just fluff up stupid ass stories about trade rumors and stupid shit all year long. We want analytics. We want more Hubie Brown and more Samson Folk and less of the fucking Stephen A. Smith fucking world of the ESPN NBA. That's what I'm saying right now. Oh my gosh, I'm fired up today. I am fired up. Yes. All right, let's go. MSJ saying at Seymour Pape, rely. I like that. Laugh out loud. Going to use that one to piss friends off who think Masai dropped it on Dame. They think that they are the real GM. Laugh out loud. In the Rogers family, they know they have to pay. Yeah. There you go. MSJ, you're exactly right. Go ahead. Seriously, if you have friends that are talking bad about Masai, talk to them directly. Set them straight. Seriously, Masai Ujiri is one of the best front office people in the whole entire NBA, and he has a really good track record. Once again, he's not going to get everything perfect. Which GM gets anything perfect? None of them. And the fact, this is the thing, the GM works with what they can work with in the parameters and the settings that they have. And he's made amazing things happen. So that's the thing. And people are saying, oh, nobody's going to want to deal with Masai. That's bullshit too. They all will deal with us. They will deal with us because we have attractive players that they want to get. So they still call us and talk to us. It's not that we just say no to a lot to them, and we should. You should say no 95% of the time. If you say no more than that, you may be taking deals that are really stupid. So, oh my gosh, rely on Masai, trust in him, and understand that these guys are doing a good job. Monique saying, love the rant, Lex. Totally. Way to go. Thank you, Mo. If I can speak louder for people like us on how we feel about this, I will. We will be that mouthpiece for us, Mo, and I will say it loud and proud and strong for him. That's right. Randolph is here. Good morning, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. These are things that are beyond our control. Please focus on what's in your control and forget the rest. Yes. Yes. And in some ways, I need to take that to heart right now. I can't control how Raptors Nation is going to act immature and stupid over a non-story, something that doesn't even matter, that's stupid as fuck. I can't control that. And in some ways, I need to understand that because Randolph's saying that and let it go. And let it go. I just go, all right, these people are going to be this way. I hope that nothing bad comes of their idiot energy. I really, really do. That's my biggest problem. In some ways, I am doing exactly what I'm worried about. I say I'm coming from fear because I'm worried that they're going to get Masai fired. And in some ways, I am worried about that. But I think that's a better thing to be worried about in this situation. Seriously, in some ways, he is really good to steer our ship. And y'all are casuals. You do not understand what the GM job does and how much there is to it. Oh my gosh. Seymour saying Rodgers needs to stick with the Jays. Unfortunately, Rodgers and Bell are half partners with MLSE, and they are involved on our board. And Ted Rodgers is not someone who's for the Raptors. In fact, he probably actively is wanting to hurt us because he sees us as a direct competition with his sport. And in some ways, he knows that entertainment money that people have to spend is disposable income is limited. And he'd rather them go buy Blue Jay stuff and go root for the Blue Jays than for the Raptor stuff and go root for the Raptors. There's really serious reasons for why Rodgers may like slight basketball as a sport in general, FIBA World Cup, and also, the Raptors in general because of competition between major league sports. It's that simple. It's that simple. Cool Cat saying Masai has 2 more years on his contract, and the media machine is driving a narrative to get the fan base to be negative on Masai. Fans falling for it, thinking grass is greener on the other side. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. See, I don't know if Darko is going to be better than Nick. I really don't know. I hope he is. But there's no guarantee on this. I really do hope he is. I believe in him. I believe in Masai for choosing him. But that's what I'm saying. There's an unknown right now with us. So think about that on the whole top of the level. You could be like fucking the Knicks and go through like 20 years of fucking muddled different people running it. They're shitty, fucking going through all kinds of bullshit. Just talk about the Raptors in their first 15 years of running this team. Seriously, you find out what that's like, youngsters, when you have like a Rob Babcock running your fucking team instead of Masai Ujiri. Be careful what you ask for, and it is not what you want. Trust me. Now, if you are acting like you're a Raptors fan and that is what you want, well, realize there are wolves in sheep's clothing on social media that act like they're a Raptors fan, but they are not. They are not. So seriously, really think about what is this? Is this good for the Raptors or not when you're hearing comments or opinions from people? And then if they aren't, then shut them out. Do not listen to them. You will understand that some of them are trolls and some of them are deceivers, and they aren't even part of our nation. They just want to kind of pull it apart from the inside. The internet is a fucked up place where people can say whatever the fuck they want and there's no repercussions. And that's what's going on right now. That's what I'm saying. Stargate saying, here we go with the Fire Masai. This organization is going nowhere. Fuckery from the non-basketball knowing transplanted hockey fan adolescent casuals. Boom, 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 boom. I won't disagree with any of those describers. There's probably a little bit of all that in there, Stargate. Yeah, Leafs mentality gets you what you get. You want to spin your wheels and not get anywhere near a Stanley Cup for fucking 60 years? Then have Leafs fan mentality. We don't do Leafs fan mentality in Raptors Nation, y'all. And we don't fire people all of a sudden. Y'all fucking fired Dubas. Why the fuck did you do that? Y'all are idiots. We don't want to be acting like that with our team here on the Raptors. No. Leafs fan, if you're more Leafs fan, just go fucking do Leaf stuff and forget about Masai and commenting and opining on Masai's job. Because once again, Stargate's right. You're casual. You're not in there in the trenches with us, the Raptorsfreaks, every single day. You do your hockey, your baseball, your CFL, or whatever otherwise, and you come back and you see the Raptors for like 20% of the time, you don't fucking have an educated opinion on this. That's what I'm going to say right now. Yeah. I Don't Bite is here. Good to see I Don't Bite. It's been a little while. What's up, Raptors Freak? Do you know whatever happened to Logical Raptors Fanatic? I haven't seen him upload videos in a while. Mike is okay. We reached out to him. He says he's going to come back near this at beginning of the season. He's had a hard summer because he's been very busy. He's had a lot going on in his life. Couldn't keep up with his content. And also, he took the departures this summer pretty hard. He was a very big Nick guy. He really liked Nick Nurse. And also Fred. Fred was his dude, too. So seeing two of his favorite people on the Raptors leave this summer was hard for him. And he didn't have the muster to make more content or be participating here right now. He's told us he's coming back here. It's not that we're in a bad place with each other at all. And in fact, we love him very much and we care about him. We've been worried about him. So we expect him to return very soon. I Don't Bite. So there you go. There's your update on Logical Raptors Fanatic. Thank you for worrying about him. Mike, we wish you well. If you watch me, man, we're still thinking about you, and we got your place ready for you when you come back. MSJ saying at CC, at Canadian Cowboy, I like Jokic, though, laugh out loud. Best player, plays the right way. He broke the NBA for the better. There you go. See, the FIBA Euro kind of style still dominates the NBA style at some level. Jokic, the epitome of that right there. His team, unselfishness, is winning championships in the selfish, weird, individualistic NBA. And that's why you go look at the plan that the Nuggets did, and they won the championship this year, and in some ways duplicated in some ways. It's a copycat league. And, well, maybe people need to play more FIBA style this year, and maybe they'll get more better results. That's what I'm saying. I hope we do. I think we will with our point guard, Dennis Schroeder, and Darko Rajakovic, a Serbian, a European coach running our team. We can play more FIBA style in an individualistic kind of league. Maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can, just like the Nuggets. That's right. Seymour saying, salute. All real ones, 100% Raptor Freaks Nation. We all got, that's right, Seymour Pape. That's right. Fight the good fight. Protect Masai at all costs right now. Because even if he has a couple of losses, that's not a reason to fire him. Let's look at the overall batting percentage on this one. Seriously, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. Seriously. Oh, my gosh. Stargate saying, oh, and by the way, Portland fleeced them all. You think they fleeced them? No, I think Portland got the short end of the stick. In some ways, they are, I don't know, whatever. I'm not even worried about Portland. In some ways, they made a mess of things by not helping Dame Lillard have a better career and win more. In some ways, it's your fault, Portland Trailblazers organization, that you didn't take care of your superstar franchise, greatest player ever over his career, and now this is why he's left. You know, it really is the Trailblazers front office's fault for this whole mess. It really, really is. G saying, I've noticed a lot of people live out of fear. What if Pascal and OG don't sign? What if Scottie doesn't get better? What if they do that, sign and everyone and they get better? The team is still young. Exactly, G. We got to be voices of reason. You know, I understand. Maybe young people are just scared in general because the world's on fire and it's kind of going to shit. And they're like, what kind of world am I going to have when I'm Lex's age? You know, I mean, I get that. I understand that. And maybe it is like partly conditioning from the pandemic that some of the youngsters are like shook or have some trauma from it. And it manifests in just having really crazy asinine fears about general things in their life everywhere. Oh, no, I'm going to be out of toothpaste by this week. I better get to the store and get some more toothpaste. uh, I mean, what the fuck is going on here? Seriously, y'all. I mean, you're making a mountain out of a molehill that is nothing, honestly. Top saying, great trade for Dame and Giannis, but what happens now? I don't want Masai fired, but I don't agree with 3 expiring contracts going in the season. We have limited leverage in trades now. Well, I mean, I get that, but in some ways, we're not a trade team, and this may be why these people are so upset. I think we're fine. We stay the course. If Bobby and Masai have to get creative during the season, they will. Listen, I get it. You guys are so worried about expiring contracts. Every single fucking team has this issue every year. Or every team getting these kind of fucking problems with their fan bases where they, oh no, this player's on an expiring contract. We got to do something. Is just this part of the course of the NBA? Because in some ways, this was never an issue like 20 years ago. This was never brought up. This is just made up bullshit, buzz, noise about extensions having to be done. Nobody ever talked about this shit in the 80s. Nobody ever talked about this shit in the 90s. Nobody ever got hung up on contracts and when they run out and all this like kind of fitting shit. It was like that was GM stuff that just happened behind the stage, and the fans didn't talk about it at all. We didn't care. That's the difference between then and now that is better about then. Is that the people didn't feel like they were GMs and kind of micromanaging the GM? Like, seriously, if you're at your fucking job, do you want your boss looking over your shoulder telling you how to keystroke every fucking thing you do at your computer? Because that's what y'all are doing to Masai right now. And I like y'all to stop micromanaging our team president, seriously, because he's doing a good job and he doesn't need that, seriously. So you can say, what happens next? Well, we go to training camp. We start our season. We start hopefully getting a lot of W's. That's what happens next, Top. That's right. What do we need? Who the fuck do we need to save us, Top? ScottieBarnes said yesterday, nobody's coming to save us. I'm here to save us. He said that, seriously. He said that to us personally. That's why I'm so revved up right now. Because there's a disconnect between what the team actually thinks about what's going on and what these stupid fans that think is so in trouble is going on. These guys are confident. These guys love each other. They want to play together. They're happy about it. Scottie said it. He said, like, we're going to be playing more team game like for each other this year. He said that on a stream yesterday. He said, this is going to be all about team and togetherness and playing for each other. Darko said the same damn thing on Jake's Takes. He said the same damn thing 2 days ago. They're playing for each other. They're playing a team game. They're playing unselfish. They're playing altruistic. Scottie's bought in. Scottie loves playing team game. He knows he can flourish in it. So I don't get this. Why don't we listen to the people actually doing shit instead of these fucking keyboard champions that fucking write all this bullshit all over fucking Twitter? Why don't we listen to Masai's mouth? Why don't we listen to Darko's mouth? Why don't we listen to Scottie's mouth? And then we fucking understand what's real and what is a rumor. Because seriously, y'all got to understand, where's the source from? Where's the water from that's coming down that stream? You got to understand, you get it straight from the horse's mouth. The people that are actually in the organization doing the work, that's the best source right there. That's the best source right there. Not fucking some jabroni down in U.S. with some sort of manipulative reasoning for why he's doing what he's doing. Seriously, y'all, don't be duped. Don't be fooled. Be smarter than that. And really think about the source of where your information is coming from before you start believing it or running with it. I will take the straight from Bobby Webster's mouth over fucking Stephen A. Smith's mouth any fucking day. Seriously. Stargate saying it's been proven time and time again that putting 2 or 3 superstars together doesn't necessarily equate to being a championship contender just because American sports media tells you that. This is part of that whole bullshit thing about the new NBA and superstar mentality and offense, this, offense, that they don't understand winning basketball is defense and team play. That's why it's so fucked up what the NBA's become, because it's the antithesis of championship basketball. So if there's a team in the league like the Nuggets that can hold on to the principles of what wins in the NBA historically, they will win because they play a team game and they have a solid defense. Those are the 2 most important things to win. Kevin Durant could think, oh, scoring wins championships. He's fucking wrong. He is wrong. He was wrong when he said that in the last 2 years. The scoring wins NBA games. That is fucking wrong. And it's been proven over and over again. You tell me why Ben Wallace's Detroit Pistons won that championship that year. You tell me why, Kevin. Why would that team, out of all the teams in the NBA that year, win that championship? The Pistons won the last time they won the NBA championship. Why would they fucking win that? Defense and team play. And that's what still wins basketball globally. Just because the individual bullshit is the hype in the NBA doesn't mean that's fucking winning basketball. Winning basketball is still rebounding, defending, and playing as a team. And the team that plays the most like that in the NBA is going to win the NBA championship. That's just how it works. So that's what I'm going to say. They could be that team, the Milwaukee Bucks, with that combination. But I'm going to tell you right now, they got a defensive downgrade as of yesterday, losing Jrue Holiday. That's what I would say right there. Yeah, Cowboys saying it's 7:38 Mountain Standard Time. We, the true Masai Raptors, going to be cooking in the NBA in a iron skillet. There's the skillet again. You talking about the skillet? And a happy mountain time to the mountain people in Mountain Standard Time. That's right. Yeah, we the North. That's right. Carlo's here. Good to see Carlo JS. So glad the Dame saga is over. I know a lot of us were breathing a sigh of relief. I had a feeling it was going to end yesterday. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, all right, this is good. In some ways, it was really good. I did not want him to go to Miami. No, I didn't. Milwaukee, I can live with. Nako saying Bucks lost a level of defense. I have a hard time saying they lost their best defender. I don't have a hard time saying that. I know people will say maybe Giannis is their best defender. Some people may even say it's a Lopez, Brooke. But Jrue Holiday, in some ways, he's like the reason why he's so good, Gerald, is because there's not many people at his position that are so good defensively. You can find a bunch of stretch guys like Giannis that are almost as good as him defensively, like OG. And even with Brooke Lopez, I think he's a little overhyped with his defensive presence on the Milwaukee Bucks. Sure, he's a big guy. He's a rim protector. He's annoying, but he's still slow. Jrue Holiday, in some ways, really was the linchpin and most important part of the Milwaukee Bucks defense in recent years. And we're going to have to see this switch. Seriously, this is a difference. And it may be more a profound difference than people realize. They see the names and they get all flashy. Oh, Dame Lillard's on the Bucks. But they got to realize the hard worker, the unsung guy, the undervalued guy for his whole entire career leaving the Bucks, it's a big loss. Seriously. And it's not just a loss on the defensive end. It's a loss as a personality and a leader in the locker room. And in some ways, yeah, it's messed up right there. See, Nameless saying, Lexus, fire the hell up right now. Let's fucking go. That's right, Nameless. No prisoners today. Seriously, if you're anti-Masai, I'm not your friend, and I will be coming to talk shit to you if I find you on social media. That's right. Tell him, Lex. That's right. Hard heads. Teste dure. Yeah, there's my Italian for today. Mo saying Jake's takes get much love after that Darko interview. So much happy for him. I hope he gets more publicity. I hope he gets more attention. I hope he gets more subscriptions. I hope he has more success. You go, Jake's takes. Young 13-year-old Jake with your badass YouTube channel. You keep going. You keep living. Keep striving and keep going and achieving. I'm proud of you. That's right. Top saying the Ted Rogers assertion is correct. But I think it's been clear that Masai's trade hesitation has increased since hurting DeMar's feelings with that trade. Fuck Ted Rogers' assertion is not correct. That man is worth that money. In some ways, this is racial, top. Seriously. In some ways, Masai Ujiri gets extra shit just because he is the only foreign-born black leader of a team in the NBA right now. Seriously, there's the powers that be that don't like that they're white supremacists. So you want to line up with them and get on that side with that? That's part of the all energy that's coming at Masai. You know that. The African man that's running an NBA team, they're going to come after him. I'm not lying to you. There is a real part of this, and that is part of that percentage of that animosity towards him. In some ways, Ted Rogers doesn't like him making that money because he's black. Can you see it? Can you see it, top? And if you don't, then you're blind to it. That's fine. Good for you. You may live in another world than me. But don't be so naive not to think that Masai Ujiri's race has something to do with what is going on with him right now. Seriously, I'm not lying. If he was a white man, he might be getting a little less right now. I'm serious. I am serious right now. And listen, trade hesitation. What the fuck is trade hesitation? These motherfuckers are involved and talking. You don't think they're on the phone doing all they're doing? We don't know how much they're doing. Trade hesitation. Once again, I told you yesterday, passing up and hesitation, these are bullshit fucking terms. And top, I'm going to give you some strikes real soon if you keep going with these kind of fucking lines of thinking with him. Because you are pissing me off. There's nothing called trade hesitation. And Ted Rogers is not fucking right. In fact, you know what? For fucking say Ted Rogers' assertion is correct, you're getting a fucking strike. So be careful. I may make an example of you today because I want to show exactly how fucking Masai bullshit right now is so fucking wrong. And you may be my example. So come on, let's see. You want to have more opinions about this? Yeah, be careful. Ted Rogers is not right. Ted Rogers is a piece of shit. His home family hates him. His own family hates him. So that's enough for you to know. His sister and his mother disown him because he's not doing what Ted Rogers older wanted that company to do. He's doing it in a fucking evil Mr. Burns way. So you want to fucking say Ted Rogers is right? His own family hates him right now. His sister and his mother have disowned him. His mother has said he is not running Rogers the way his father would have wanted him to. So you won't get on that side and said his assertion is correct? You want what are you fucking gonna tell that black man can't make that kind of money? Is that what you're fucking trying to tell me, top of top? Seriously. Seriously. Think about what you're saying and who are you fucking fighting for? Seriously. A fucking Mr. Burns? There you go. G saying Jrue is a pass first player, which worked well with Giannis. Both Giannis and Dame are top 5 in shot attempts. Will be interesting to see if someone takes a step back or if someone becomes a two-man show. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Milwaukee, and it'll be interesting to see where Jrue Holiday lands. In some ways, I'm a little worried about that. If he goes to the Celtics, that's not good for us. We do not want him anywhere near the Celtics. If Jrue Holiday can land somewhere on the Eastern Conference, out of the Eastern Conference in the Western Conference, that would be much more ideal. That would be way, way more ideal. So we got to see where this drops. Where Holiday ends up will be a big factor. And I want him to be in the West. I really, really do. Shirkan saying, good morning, Raptorsfreak family. Milwaukee was willing to give up more assets because they had Giannis. Raps just can't let OG go for just a Dame-type player. Giannis or bust. Only Luka or Jokic are only exceptions. Masai got it. See, Shirkan's confident in our GM and navigating the right situation in this. Maybe opportunities were there, but they weren't the right deal. And in some ways, things just weren't lining up correctly. You don't want to do something half-assed. You don't want to make a deal just for the sake of making a deal just because some fucking whiny fucking Raptors fans think you should. You make a deal because it makes sense and it improves your team. You don't make a deal just for the sake of making a deal. That's what the New York Knicks did for decades, and they didn't get any fucking where. They just made deals just for the sake of making deals, and it fucking got them nowhere. So if you want to go and be like the New York Knicks from 10, 20 years ago, fucking casual-ass stupid fans, that's what you get. That's what you get. Oh, my gosh. Wayne Strainer saying the whole linkage of Raptors and Lillard was a setup. ESPN knew, and when Stephen A. and Shannon dissed Raptors, they said a better place was the Bucks. They spilled the beans unknowingly. Masai rules. That's another thing. Once again, y'all are being manipulated by the U.S. media. Understand this. There was a setup. They wanted to make it all hyped up. They know how y'all act, and you played right into what they wanted you to do. You want to be that kind of stupid Raptor fan that plays right into the U.S. media's hands? You go ahead and be stupid. But we're smarter than that. And we understand what's going on here. And we can tell when somebody's trying to manipulate us. So if you want to be easily manipulated, kids, you go ahead and be easily manipulated. We'll let the grown-ups at the grown-up table handle the real talk and the real feelings about the Raptors. And we'll let y'all idiots be at the kids' table with your stupid outrage over the stupid fucking shit yesterday. Top of Top saying, to say Raps fans who are against the current approach to team building are not Raps fans is unfair comment. Fuck you, it is not. Top of Top, I'm going to give you the second strike on this one. Watch. Let's see. They shouldn't denigrate Masai, but it's possible to take another team-building approach. I don't disagree with that second part. There are different possibilities, but I am confident, and I like what they're doing. I don't want y'all to designate what they're going to do. Y'all aren't fucking qualified. Top of Top, you are not qualified more than Bobby Webster. You let them do their job. Y'all don't tell them how to do their job. I don't want y'all micromanaging them. Let them do their job. And it's sometimes the outcome is not exactly right away. You go through some failure to get to that success. That's what Giannis said last year. At the end of the year when they lost to Miami, it's like, y'all don't understand how success comes. You have to lose to win. And that's the thing. If you can be patient and allow the proper amount of losing, you will get to the promised land of winning. The problem is that we have losing and people get all panicky and they say, we got to do something quick to fix this. And then they get off the track of winning that they were going towards because they knee-jerk reaction something. I'm telling you, seriously. I tell you right now, anybody who's anti-Masai or coming at Masai or denigrating Masai or adding to that pile of wanting to get rid of him, you are anti-Raptors. You are not a true fan. And I give you a big fuck you straight from me personally. So watch it, Top of Top. Seriously, I don't mind you being critical of the front office's moves. But when people start saying he needs to leave, he needs to be fired, he needs to resign, and all this kind of shit, then I have a big problem. I don't mind singularly looking at something and saying, oh, this is, he could have done better in this. We can talk that way. But when you're broad sweeping with really fucking no account for successes, along with possible failures or even just perceived failures that aren't actually really fucking failures, Their failures made up in people's fucking heads. I'm sorry. I'm going to stay in reality world. I'm not going to go into y'all's little fucking thing. I'm going to go with like the Raptors know what they're doing. I'm going to let them stay the course and we're going to see what happens. Y'all are just too impatient is what it is what it is right there. G saying, I think with Kawhi, there was no competition to get him and they really didn't care to send him where he wanted to go. Portland apparently had incentive to do right by their star. The Kawhi situation is such a specific individual situation, and so is the Lillard situation. I mean, in some ways you can compare them, but in some ways you really can't. And G's about right on this. Nameless is saying, what? That low-life GM in Milwaukee did that to a player? Fire him. The Bucks need to fire their GM immediately. I can't believe this. Fire that GM. He lied to his players. See, I don't know. I mean, see, he's just making up indignation and stupid shit and seeing if we can get the GM of the Bucks fired. You know, that's what I'm saying. We can just make shit up here and send it down there about Nick Nurse, about the Celtics, which I'm saying shit about the Celtics. I'm very currently putting propaganda out to help the demise of the Celtics this season. That's what I'm saying. If I'm doing that here from a Raptors perspective, why wouldn't fucking Celtics Nation, Sixers Nation, all these other nations down there do the same shit to us? So really, really think about where the source of your information is coming from and vet it that way, youngsters. I'm giving you life advice, young people. Listen to me, please. God damn it, please listen to me. Jesus. All right, let's see. I know I'm cussing. I shouldn't be. Cowboys saying the Bucks doing this trade shows how much they were scared of the Raptors. Good luck, Bucks. We got Gradey, Precious, Coloco, Noel, and Liberty, Boucher, Flynn. I like how you put the Statue of Liberty in there. Watch out for our starting lineup. Yeah, I don't think they're scared. I think they were opportunists, and they landed a very good player to pair with Giannis. I don't think they're scared of us. I mean, I don't know. MSJ saying 6'11". Oh my God. Yeah, that's what he said. I'm gonna believe Scott. People were in there trying to say you're capping, Scott. How the fuck you can go on his Twitch and tell him to his face you're lying? Like, who the fuck are you? You're gonna say Scottie doesn't know his own height? This is him. He should know himself. He's going to go down to the OVO center and they're going to put that little thing over his head like you do when you go to the doctor. He's going to stand up straight. And Ray Chow's going to say, oh, Scottie, you're 6'11" now in your shoes. And he's like, really? Really? Okay. It's likely. It could happen. You know, he's young. And Kevin Durant grew like 4 inches when he came to the NBA. He was like 6'8" when he came to the NBA. He ended up being like 7 foot. So this is not unheard of. NBA players continue to grow after they make it in the league, especially if they come in as teenagers. So, you know, oh my gosh, Eric Jacobs here. Holy crap. This guy's one of our originals. Seriously. Eric Jacob is in Africa, and he is one of the original Raptorsfreaks. I think he was one of my top 5 or 6 first subscribers at the very beginning 2 years ago. Eric's here. We wouldn't give Scottie for KD and won't give OG for Dame. Reminds me of the Hawks disrespecting Pascal by taking Buffkin off the table in a Siakam trade. Yeah, I mean, once again, we can speculate all the different stupid things that could have been on the table. This or this or this. We don't know. And it's a wasted exercise. It's all hot air and stupid shit. Just let this pass. It's like whatever. Scottie was like really like amazed at how stupid people were on the chat about this in this way. He was really like, y'all don't really get this, do you? You don't understand basketball, do you? Is kind of what Scottie was like on this Twitch stream when people would come in the chat saying, y'all didn't get Lillard. We're losing. Oh my gosh. He's like, he said, he really made people say, y'all, just stop. What are you freaking out about? We're good. Trust me, is what he said to the Raptors fans. Scottie himself. I can't believe that people are so freaked out about this stupid deal yesterday. Yeah, Isaac saying 6'11" with shoes on. That's right. Nameless is saying, I told y'all he ain't no 6'8". Stupid league lying to us. Of course he's 6'11". Look at him, bro. Well, we had to get it from the horse's mouth. We asked him directly and he told us. Yeah. Shoes an inch. Yeah, something like that. CC. Elijah Hutchins is here. Good to see Raptorsfreak. Elijah Hutchins. That Dame trade made me feel Bucks and Suns are desperate in different ways. Gives me confidence that if we figure out ourselves out, we could shock everyone, even me. There you go, Elijah Hutchins. Keep those fingers crossed. And I am with you on that wish and hoping that these are the things that are going to happen. Yeah, I'm with you. Cowboys saying Sky's going to be 7 foot. Who knows? He may be standing next to Jakob Poeltl and is looking very, very like a twin. Stargate saying Jrue was Giannis's best friend on the team other than his brothers. Great way to ensure he stays in Milwaukee. Laugh out loud, you casuals. You are so clueless. That's what I'm saying, too. This was my first reaction to the deal yesterday, Stargate. is that in some ways, Giannis saying that he wants the team to be the way, like he wants to see a commitment to winning. You can take the deal to get Lillard as that, but also at the same time, in some ways, Jrue Holiday is a very important piece of a person around the team. I know that Giannis is happy to get Dame, but at what cost? He's probably really feeling another side of the coin that is negative about Holiday's departure also. And I think Stargate's exactly right. This struck me right away. In fact, when I got the trade come across, I said, you know what? Giannis might still leave next summer is the first thing I thought. Is the very first thing I thought. I was like, okay, they did this to pacify Giannis. But in some ways, if he doesn't like Coach Griffin and how he coaches them, if he doesn't go well with Lillard and it doesn't work right, and they have a less successful year than they did this past season, he may ask to leave next summer still. And the Giannis sweepstakes #2 is on all of a sudden again anyway. So, I mean, Stargate, I got this impression too. That was my first reaction was, Giannis might still leave even though this happened. It's very interesting, very interesting. G saying teams like Golden State and the Bucks are mostly in their 30s and need to win now. I want to see how these older teams hold out health-wise. The NBA is changing with players playing at a high level, much older now. Yeah, I don't even know if it's that. They just valued the younger players and paying them less. In some ways, teams were trying to get around salary cap stuff because the older players have to get paid more. Well, let's just cut them and just pay young guys cheaper, and then we can do salary cap stuff that way. I think that was part of the philosophy and why the league got younger in age is they were trying to cut salary. And some of those older guys set to get big paydays, well, they just didn't get them. They had to retire early. So it's very interesting. Nameless saying, I hope you people see the effery that's going on with the media in our organization. Hype up our fan base with lies just to crash us down and crush our spirits over and over again. Don't fall for it. There you go. That's right. Let's educate the Raptors Nation on what's going on here and let them know to be proud of your team, root for your team, stay positive, trust in Masai, rely on Bobby, and let's just let them do their jobs. Y'all want to micromanage? Go to your job and micromanage people that work under you. Don't micromanage our GM. You can micromanage people that you work with. If you're the boss, go micromanage them. Maybe it'll get your outlet. And you can fucking get over your fucking self with trying to control things like that. Seriously. Top saying last year we had the luxury of another 2 years of Pascal, OG, and Trent and a pick coming. Now we don't if we are a mid-team. Also, the lack of trade leverage puts more undue pressure on the front office. Listen, I don't think about things in these kind of ways. In some ways, it's that's the fear-mongering bullshit that is being pushed in those kind of circles. So top, in some ways, you talk the language of this kind of bullshit. You really, really do. You know what? Looking at assets and all this kind of bullshit, the moving parts, I'm sure Bobby and Masai are on top of things. People want to say that they're not. They're full of shit and they're stupid. They're doing what they can with what they can and how they can on what schedule and what they got to do at that time. And the signing of Dennis Schroeder immediately after Fred shows that they're on top of things. The signing of re-signing of Jakob this summer and working things out to land him shows that they're on top of things. A very, very careful vetting of our next head coach and getting Darko Rajakovic shows that they're on top of things. So don't fucking buy into these narratives from places. Once again, you don't know where you're fucking getting this information from top or why this is put in your face to worry about. Think about that instead. Don't think about what you're saying exactly. Think about why this is put in front of you and why it's put in your head to even talk about it in the first place. Do all the other teams in the league have this kind of shit going on with their fan base? Probably to an extent. But do we need to have this kind of noise around our team? No, it's unnecessary. It's stupid. You give yourself unnecessary suffering is what you're doing. You're unnecessarily suffering, top. You don't have to suffer like this. Why are you suffering so bad worrying about the front office of the Raptors? If people have to leave, they have to leave. So be it. We go to those roads. We cross those roads when they happen. I trust that our front office will take care of business the best they can with the parameters and things that are happening. If you want to have that unnecessary suffering all year about OG and Gary and Pascal's extension, you go ahead. That's your right. But don't fucking try and make other people try and feel the same way as you and worried about it. Because we're not. I'm not worried about it. I know Siakam's going to be fine. Whatever happens to him, I wish him well. I know OG's going to be fine no matter what happens. I know the Raptors are going to be fine no matter what. So you go ahead, have unnecessary suffering. I'm giving you 2 strikes. You got 1 from earlier and you got 2 half strikes now. So you got 1 left. Name is saying, God damn, proclivity. That's right. Marlon Toby saying, I'm happy Gradey is still a Raptor going into his rookie season. I want to see what he can do. Gradey was awesome last night. It was fun. Like I said, Scottie was like, I don't know if I should be telling y'all he's throwing the first pitch. Now, Gradey goes down there, and I told Scottie this in the Twitch stream. He's like, because he was worried. He's like, he better throw it right because people always analyzing the first pitch from the athlete to get it over the plate. And Scottie's like worried about him. And I told Scottie, I was like, look, Gradey played baseball when he was younger. He's actually a good baseball player. So he has diamond skills. And Scottie read the comment. He said, oh, Gradey played baseball? And he has diamond skills? He read my comment. So he saw me say that. And of course, Gradey got up there and he had his pose. And he's like being goofy. He's kind of like, ooh, he looks good in the Blue Jays jersey, by the way. And he kind of does a wind up and he does a whole overacting. And he had a nice delivery. And he got it over the plate. And as he said in the interview, he's like, I put it over the plate with some heat. Gradey, you're awesome. And I could tell he really enjoyed throwing the first pitch at the Blue Jays game. Now, that's not the first time he's thrown a first pitch at a game this summer. He actually did this in St. Louis also. Or no, Kansas City. I think it was the Royals. It was either the Royals or the Cardinals. Then Kansas, they had him throw the first pitch at one of their games earlier this summer already. So Gradey's thrown a couple first pitches this summer. It's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. Nameless saying, we all know how those goes. Alley-oop to Lex. Okay, you want me to get a dunk? I'll take a dunk. I feel like I've been abusing the rim today, is what's been going on right now, Bradley. Yeah, I'll tell you right now. MSJ saying more and more I want Fred to explode like one of those new North Korean missile tests. The Fred VanVleet dong number 5 exploded after launch today. Turns out it only had a 35% success rate. H-Town Sports News. This is like weird, and in some ways I don't like how it's dissing Fred, but in some ways it's so creative, Chris. I have to give you a dunk. It's so creative and weird, and in some ways I have to. And I'm mad at Fred for getting called out in a lie. In the last 24 hours. Getting caught in a lie, Freddie, and because it didn't help us last year, and he was part of that noise that hurt us. In some ways, it makes me wonder about him and Nick trying to fuck our team up on their way out is what makes me wonder about that, you know? All right, let's see what else y'all are saying in the chat. I jumped ahead. I'll make sure I get back to the right place. Yeah, you got me on a feisty day. I've been really, really mad at anti-Masai people. For sure, I've been mad at them, and I'm coming after them. I'm coming after them hard. Oh, Nuggets fan is here. I like to see what Nuggets fan has to say. We like the Nuggets. I always, I remember you from before. You're a good guy, Nuggets fan. Let me see what else y'all are saying here. This is crazy. All right, here we go. Super fans saying 33 people watching. Subscribe and like. Thank you, Mo. Yeah, we got a good number in here. I appreciate y'all's time. Cool Cat saying, when I saw the notification that Scottie was in Twitch, I was so excited I almost passed out. Cool Cat, you're so cute. That's awesome. Scottie missed interacting with us. He did. And I was worried that like I was part of the reason why he didn't want to do it anymore. Because in some ways, I know I'm like overpoweringly always there. And he, of course, he noticed I was there again. He's like, yeah, Raptorsfreak is back. Because he saw me resub up. And of course, Lloyd was talking to me too directly. You know, they know us. They know our names to an extent. They know who Durante is. They know all of us. They get to know us, especially if we're regulars and we're always there. I'm sure he remembered your name too, Cool Cat. Cowboys saying 32 people watching. Smash the like button for Lex. The best Raptors content on the planet. Big up the NBA Chev also. Yeah, big up the NBA Chev. Listen, we need to fight this good fight for Masai. Protect him at all costs. Trust me. He's the best GM in the NBA. They know that. They want to pry him out. They want him for their own team. Ted Rogers hates him because he's making so much money and he has to pay him that money. Don't fall for fucking Monty Burns, Ted Rogers, or the U.S. media and the other teams down south trying to get Masai to their team. Don't listen to hype. Don't be part of that noise, Raptors fans. Please don't. Nameless saying, I want to eulogize you right now, Lex. Love you, buddy. There you go. Nameless, we meet in real life. I'd love to hear what you have to say in that kind of way. It'd be a lot of fun. G saying, Masai is damned if he does and damned if he don't. That's right. After the chip, he made room to try and get Giannis. And yes, it hurt the team, but he took that risk like with Kawhi. High risk moves equals more eyes on him. You know, it's a thankless job. And that's why we need to be the people that thank him and make it all come in perspective. In some ways, it is really hard to do, to stay up there and stay successful. I love the Spurs for just letting Coach Popovich just do his shit. Coach for a long time, run the team for a long time, and he does a good job. You see that continuity in the Spurs organization and why they are so good for so long. We need that mimicked here. In some ways, the NBA likes quick expirations. People don't stay somewhere very long. We don't want that. We want institutions. We want Masai to be an institutional part of the Raptors franchise. And people that don't understand that or against that, you're fucking stupid. And you don't understand how bad our team could be without Masai. There's levels to this, you idiots. And we're in a good level right now, considering everything we've had to weather in the last 4 years since the pandemic started. And in some ways, y'all fucking need to realize that there's levels to this. We could be like a 20-win team again. And y'all are fucking spoiled brats. People that are more recent Raptor fans that have only known the championship years since. You don't fucking understand how bad it could be. So shut the fuck up because you don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm going to say right now. Yeah, there you go. Why not saying, damn, did anybody see that buck in the side mirror? It went past the blind spot for Lillard. Geez. And what do you think this does to the team morale? All that bickering in the rumor mill. I think we're about to see who's the pros and who's the hoes. Wow, why not? Makes it live. Good to see you. Why not? And thanks for joining the fantasy league. I didn't see this Bucks thing happening at all. It really was like Nameless said. It was all set up like this. They wanted to do a bait and switch. They wanted Raptors fans to feel cheated. And some of y'all are idiots and fell for it. I don't feel cheated. I feel like, well, this is just business as usual in the NBA. You can't make every deal. What the fuck do you think this is? You just make every deal. It's just like happens. ESPN trade machine, motherfuckers. This is the way it was supposed to be. And we weren't even involved in this other than ESPN hyped it up and made it sound like we were supposed to be. And that's why all y'all are duped and y'all feel cheated right now. What did you get cheated of? Nothing. We don't want bad, shitty hip hop music coming here. You know, in some ways we got Drake, and it's not that he's shitty. I love Drake. But Dame Lillard's shit is kind of compared to him. And yeah, I can diss his music even more now because I know he's not coming here. He had a song he dropped yesterday. As soon as after he got traded, he dropped a song called Farewell to Portland. And it's got all kinds of crazy lyrics in it and shit like that. Oh my gosh, that guy was so ready to leave. He was so ready. He made a song in the studio and produced it in time to be able to get out of there. Oh my gosh, that's right. Isaac Campbell's got Scottie and Mo on blast. Mo no. Dame Lillard. Top saying it is still possible to support Masai and still question asset management. I'll agree with this. It's a job. If you slide in 2 of the 3 years, you will be brought in for performance reviews. Constructive criticism is not bad. I don't mind that. But right now, in some ways, this is kind of a similar thing, top as last year with Fred and Nick. I saw way over embellishment and overboard kind of constructive criticism. It's not even. It's just uninformed fucking mudslinging. It's not what that is. Sure, you may be doing constructive criticism in here mostly, but you're on the same side as the mudslingers that are going way overboard and saying over kind of shit. You want to put more weight on that side of the scale? You go ahead, top. See ya. You're not fucking on my team then. If you want to come and stand with me and still be a little bit like, I want to be critical of Masai, I'm okay with that. You can be critical of Masai. It's just right now it's not the time. Last year it was the same thing I was trying to say about Nick. Y'all stop fucking coming after Nick. And we see what happened. Y'all stop coming after Fred. And we see what happened. So listen to me right now, top. Right now it's not the time to criticize Masai because there's enough dumbasses that are doing it that don't know what they're fucking talking about. So you want to add to that side of the scale and put more on that weight of that side. That's why I'm saying fuck you for it then. Then I'll say it then because right now we need to protect him because there's so much of an overbalance of stupid shit coming out of him that we need to be the voices supporting him and standing up for him in defense of him. So right now I see you on the other side of the line. Even if you're being fairly in constructive criticism, I don't disagree with that, but this isn't the time right now because in some ways there's a red alert because there's a lot of bullshit out there going around right now. And you're adding to the wrong side of the noise. Let's just put it that way. You may be fair and exactly right with what you're saying. And I'm okay with that in everyday business. But right now, we can't do that. Right now, there's a lot of extra bullshit that's adding to the noise. And you are adding to the wrong side of it, is what I'll say. Nameless is saying, of course they asked Dame, would you rather play with Giannis or Pascal? They owe him that much at least. Yeah, they did ask him that. Thanks for the super chat, David. David's got the cat face. And Nameless saying, I can't blame him. I'd probably choose Giannis or Pascal too. I don't say that shit like that. I'm going to give you a strike for that. Nameless, you're getting strike 2. So Top's got 2. Nameless has got 1. Don't fucking say shit like that. That's not right. Okay, let's see who got the memberships. All right, this is good people got him. Cowboy, Wayne, Randolph, Stillman, and Fun Guy. What a great 5 What a great starting five of Raptor Freaks to get those gifted memberships from Tom Duke. I love it. Bradley, Wayne, Randolph, Stillman, and Fun Guy. Great five there. Let's fucking go, Nameless. Yeah, let's go, Tom Duke. Tommy Ducarelli. That's right. So pumped up. Yeah, I am pumped up, Tom. I'm really, Blackhawk saying, get him, Lex. Hey, tell Shab to come listen to me too. You might want to hear what I got to say today. David saying, Tom Duke in the house. That's right. Nameless saying, Dame's ego will not allow him to play in Canada. Simple and plain. See, I got that feeling. That's why I was saying he's an asshole, because there's an ego part of him that's like, I'm above playing in Toronto. I'm serious. I got that feel from him. And I do feel like it is his entourage around him that kind of supports that kind of mentality. Like these guys are these American kind of guys we've been talking about recently that are really closed-minded and really just believe America this, America that. It's in this clip where they're talking about the world champions in Germany and Dennis Schroeder. You can see that mentality in them, the way they talk and make fun of Dennis for his accomplishment recently. Yeah, you fucks. You just because the U.S. didn't win, you're gonna poo-poo that tournament. That's what I'm talking about. That's a symptom of that. There you go. Let's see. Stargate saying, top of top, the approach you are wanting Masai to take with his team building has to be tried for years here and has in Toronto and has been proven fruitless. Well, I think I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Stargate. I don't know if it's totally clear. I do understand that you're on the side that I'm on as far as things. It's like, yeah, okay. Either way, I'm gonna move on. I can't totally discern that one. You guys are laughing. It's funny. Name was saying, in Dame's opinion, Canada and Canadians are beneath him. That's what I'm saying. It's that kind of stuff. It's that mentality that like Canada's second class, the whole rest of the world's second class, the U.S. I hate that shit. I think that people in Portugal, people in Sri Lanka, people in South Korea, people in Zanzibar are all the same and equal as us. But Americans will say, well, no, that's dirtbag countries. They ain't good as us. Mexico sucks. Mexico ain't as good as us. I don't fucking think that way. I have a good friend from Mexico. He's a very smart man, a PhD in sociology named Dr. Carlos Venegas Diaz from Monterrey, Mexico. That man is a genius. In fact, he may be smarter than most of y'all Americans down there. So you see, the misconceptions and the ideas about the whole world, I don't think that way. Equality is what I think. And Americans are thinking they're a tier above everybody else because they're programmed to think that way by bullshit. There you go. There you go. Out the park. That's right. I'm not trying to say Canadians are better than Americans. I say we're equal and we can be equal. And y'all don't think we are? That's part of the problem is what I'm talking about right there. There you go. Top of top saying our team is decent. Dennis is an excellent backup, but I don't view him as a starter. You're wrong. Scottie doesn't have a great pull-up J and handles. You're wrong. I prefer him creating in the mid post. I do agree with that. We need a starting point guard, Dennis Schroeder. What the fuck, man? Top of top. Like, in some ways, I like you, but in some ways, you piss me off sometimes. And this has happened last year, even. I remember. Because in some ways, you would toe that line close to Pensair. I know. But it's like, listen, man. All right, let me take these down. I like the one you said about you prefer him creating the mid post. I like that. That's the only thing I like about what you said here. Because the rest of it is all kind of not accurate. It's not accurate. Dennis can start. Dennis has been a proven starter. He was a starter for the Lakers with LeBron. If he's starting on a team with LeBron in the starting lineup, he's a starter. In some ways, we want that kind of starter on our team. A more prominent scorer and a more of a role player starter as a starting point guard. He can start for the world champion team Germany and he can't start for the Raptors. What the fuck kind of logic is that? Seriously, he can't fucking start for the world champion team. He can start for Team Germany and the world champions. He can't fucking start for the NBA Toronto Raptors. Like, seriously, listen to yourself. All right, if Scottie doesn't have a great pull-up, well, you may think that, but he's been in the lab, and he's talked about it yesterday at length that he worked really hard on his shot this year, and y'all are going to be very pleasantly surprised with the work he's done, with the results he's going to come back with. So I can give you that you didn't know that. You didn't know that right now, but you will see it this season. I've seen it in Rico runs. I've seen it in clips of him working out. He has a new shot form, and the way he's shooting is much more squared up and fundamentally correct. So we're going to see an improvement from him on the shooting. The handles thing, he has pretty good handles. I just don't want him to do flashy shit like look back or do crazy dribbles that are unnecessary for the play. And it's just because he wants to be flashy. That's the only thing I have to criticize him with the handles. And maybe he needs to pass more while looking at them. The no-look passes are fun, and he does hit them from time to time. but they're not necessarily fundamentally good either. I do agree with the creating in the post, and I don't agree with the starting point guard thing. We have a lot of good, decent point guards that can fill in and be there. It could even be, what if we fucking started Noel? Noel could start at point guard possibly. And it's already sounding like he's going to run the offense through Jakob anyway. So this is the thing. They're going to give the ball to Jakob in the center, just like they did Steven Adams in Memphis. So that may be a very similar thing that we see between the Grizzlies and the Raptors this year, is running the ball through a hub like Marc Gasol or Steven Adams through Jakob. So there you go. There you go, top of top. I'm not going to give you a strike, even though I disagree with your points. Nuggets fan is saying this. Dame wants to play for a contender. He doesn't want to make a lateral move. Going to Toronto would have been just that. Going from one non-playoff team to another isn't smart for him. All right, Nuggets fan, with all due respect, I'm gonna give you respect on this, but I'm gonna disagree with you also. Once again, that's a perception of y'all. Our team is a playoff team this year, and we're gonna show that. Portland, it may very well be not a playoff team this year. We have a way more better assets on Toronto, and we're a better team than Portland. Do not equate us to them. Seriously, they didn't make the playoffs last year. We made the playoffs, or we made the play-in, but we are a way better team than them, and you're not giving us enough credit. We have way better assets. We have a better front office, and we have just a better team in general. So, all due respect, I appreciate you. You're the NBA champions, and much respect to Jokic, Jamal Murray, and your crew over there. I have no gripe with y'all. In fact, I will champion y'all and push y'all as saying these guys are awesome. And I've already said nice things about your team on this channel. I just say don't equate us with Portland. We're better than them. We are. It would have been a step up, but it really is that he didn't want to play in Canada. It doesn't have anything to do with our talent. You know, people would love to play with ScottieBarnes and Pascal and OG. Seriously, they would. They would. Stargate saying, you folks don't understand that the Raptors are the most different team in the NBA. We can't draft, trade, hire, sign like any other team in the league. Boom goes the dynamite. Stargate's exactly right. We have special terms. In some ways, we have, limitations because of this. In some ways, we cannot operate like the Celtics. We cannot operate like the Lakers. And, Stargate is exactly right. And this is part of the reason why it's so incredible how good Masai has done on his job, considering how much more he has to put up with compared to the other fucking teams. The relocation to Tampa is a perfect example of this, y'all. Seriously. Stargate, you got a dunk for that comment, by the way. Cool Cat saying, my goal today on Twitter is to stress critical thinking. Yeah, there you go. Y'all want to be brain dead and just like let people think for you and just and take tweets in and, oh, that's what I'm going to think. And then fucking do that. You're going to be an idiot and you're not going to be very smart. Critical thinking is more important in today's society than ever. And I agree with Cool Cat on this one. Thank you, Cool Cat. If you can make people more intelligent in this world, you're fighting the fight against the dumbing down of the people. And that's very important. Carlo JS is saying, Reddit Raptors fans were in shambles yesterday. It was so funny. Yeah, I don't even want to go to that depth of hell. Dante has the levels of hell. Well, Reddit is way down there below Twitter. And the immaturity and stupidity on Reddit, I'm sure that it was like 1,000 times even worse. I don't even want to go down there. In fact, I hope people don't even think that Reddit is relevant in any kind of way. Because honestly, it isn't. It's a fucking cesspool of idiots. That's what it is. Yeah. Stargate saying, we're different. And Masai and Bobby understand this. Too bad some of you fans don't. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, it's not as easy to be the GM of the Raptors as it is to be the GM of the, let's just say, the Bucks. In some ways, it's easier to be the GM of the Bucks than it is of the Raptors. And if you don't understand that, Quick Takes is here. Good morning. Y'all give NBA Quick Takes a follow and a subscribe. Great content over there. He reacted to the Dame Lillard trade immediately last night. Good stuff, Quick Takes. Always glad to have your support. And you have mine also. David saying, hey, Lex, I learned something about your Centennials the other day. They own the Hard Rock Cafe brand. That's crazy. Oh, you mean the Seminoles? Yeah, I know that was autocorrect. Yeah, the Seminole tribe in Florida has bought the Hard Rock casinos in Central Florida, and they run them, and they make money off of them like crazy. The Seminole Nation is very rich. They make money off the apparel for Florida State, and they're getting a cut on all this stuff. That's how they got this deal. Florida State can't use all the imagery of their tribe and Native Americanness without giving them a cut. That's how they can still be the Seminoles in this PC woke world, because the Seminole tribe's getting a cut and they fully endorse them being used as the mascot of the Florida State University. So yeah, they're a very rich tribe. In fact, in some ways, the Seminole tribe is unconquered and very successful. Very, very successful. Quick Takes is giving me and the Raptors freaks 100%. I love it. Carlo JS is saying, what fans need to understand, being in Canada makes Bobby Masai work even harder. I can definitely see the vision. It was really baffling. The core hasn't performed. Maybe it was really Nurse. I think it was Nurse some ways last year. He just didn't coach actively. He was kind of a passive. In some ways, Nick believed his own hype, his whole Hollywood movie star coaching notoriety all of a sudden. And he bought into it too much. And he forgot the shit that he needs to do, which is coach the team, keep the team together, and just do better things with the team. In some ways, he was working off his own hype. Some of y'all that say the thing about Masai that he's getting everything off of the championship, that was actually true about Nick Nurse, not about Masai. That Nick was kind of coasting off his success with the championship the last 5 years. That was way more true about Nick than Masai. So I would say that. And I think that Nick was a big part of the problem last year. And that this year we're going to see a very stark difference and people will realize this. I can't wait for the season to start just to shut these fucking idiots up so they will see the reality and the truth about the Raptors and that we are going to be pretty good this year. Yeah, Quick Take saying, I told y'all this Lillard coming to Toronto was just good entertainment and publicity, manipulative entertainment. And unfortunately, some of the Raptors Nation have been bought it hook, line, and sinker. And they're in shambles today, and they don't need to be. We don't need to be Heat Nation right now. Heat Nation's in shambles. In fact, I said to Scott, I say, Heat Nation's in shambles today. And Scott saw my comment. He said, what? Heat Nation's not in shambles? What are you talking about? In some ways, it made me give a tell that he does have some affinity for Heat Nation on some sort of level. But it was interesting, his gut reaction to my comment saying Heat Nation's in shambles today because of the Lillard trade. And Scottie disagreed with me. And in fact, he very much took a stoic persona about it. He's like, why is Miami in shambles? Why are the Raptors in shambles? We didn't make the deal. So what? Like Scottie's like, what the fuck is wrong with the fans freaking out like this? If he saw Miami Heat fans freaking out like Raptors fans are today, he would think that they were idiots too. What? You just didn't make the deal. Milwaukee made the deal. So what? So what? Ooh, what? Oh, you feel like somebody else got something and you didn't get it? Is that what the fucking problem is, you little babies? Oh, Milwaukee got him instead of us. Mommy, I wanted the Dame Lillard toy. You little fucking infantile idiots. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Seriously, there's only one Lillard. He can only go one place, and it wasn't in the cards for us. And thank God, honestly. In some ways, I'm glad. G saying, when Canadian stars want to end up on the Raptors, can't wait to see the narrative change of how unfair it is in Canada only has one team. May not be anytime soon, but I feel it could happen. Well, it has happened. And in fact, one of the guys, his name is Kem Birch, and he is his birthday today. Happy birthday to Kem Birch, a real one. A Toronto Raptors fan as a kid who grew up and realized his dream of playing for the Toronto Raptors. He wanted to play for us. He chose it. There's players that want to play for us. I don't know if any Canadian guys are really that interested in coming here because there's a lot of pressure because it is that one team. But if someday SGA shows up in a Raptors jersey, Ben Mathurin, Shaedon Sharpe, any of these youngsters that are coming up and they end up on the Raptors, well, we'll see if this effect can happen, G. I'm all for it too. And I say that that's a logical progression of Canada basketball and things that are happening with basketball. FIBA did not hurt this summer to get young people on the court, to get more talented, developed up here north of the border. So yeah, more homegrown talent on Toronto is always good. And Canadians that want to play for the team, just like Canadian guys from Toronto want to play for the Maple Leafs, yeah, we're going to see that at some point. We will see that at some point. Some of these guys could, on this down low, be kind of like, I would like to play for the Raptors. You know, Dylan Brooks, like, I love scorching them. But in some ways, you think he would want to play for the Raptors and play for his home crowd and be like that swagger for his own country, just like he did for Team Canada this summer? Yeah, he probably would. It's a lot of pressure. And it'd be awesome to link him up with his old Oregon Ducks buddy, Chris Boucher. Boucher and Brooks on the Raptors, woo, would be good, but not at that price that Houston paid him. Not at that price. Let's see. David's saying, I have to admit, what you're saying about Superstar Showcase is so true. Watching FIBA this summer was so refreshing. We actually got to watch basketball for a change, not to mention the refs are actually good at their job. Boom, 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 boom. That's right. The secret's out. That's part of why they want to hide FIBA. The NBA wants to hide it because they see how shitty their product is when you compare the NBA to FIBA basketball, it's like it's not as entertaining. FIBA basketball is more entertaining than the NBA, y'all. I'm sorry, it's just true. If you're a real basketball hoop head like David is, you see that. You enjoy it more. There's a reason why FIBA was so fun to watch this summer. I hope that the NBA could capture that. You could, Adam Silver, if you started making some changes in the right direction instead of the wrong one. Yeah, MSJ saying, I get what you said, but for me, it's the game over the team. Been a Raps fan since the first game. If push came to shove, if I'm Dame wanting to win, I pick Giannis. The truth is no Raptor slate. Yeah, but see, I'm a propagandist. I admit it. I'm very much the opposite in reverse towards the people that are doing it towards us. I have to be that counterbalance. So I don't like any kind of negativity to a degree. Now, if it's a fair criticism, I'm okay with it. I get it. In a lot of ways, Milwaukee is closer to a championship than us. And that is a fair point. And that is a big factor, probably, and part of the reason why Lillard would prefer playing for Milwaukee. It hurts me to say it as a Raptors fan, but I will admit this and be honest about it. And that's true. That is true. G saying, let's see. Report just came out that Portland wanted Jimmy or Bam. There you go. See, if they're going to get Dame Lillard, they were going to have to give up either Butler or Adebayo. There you go. Randolph saying, thank you, Tom Duke, for the gift. This is greatly appreciated. You are a blessing to my day. There you go. Tom Duke giving the blessings to the blessings, man. Randolph Phillips, a member of this channel. Randolph, if you are on Facebook, I'd love for you to join our Raptorsfreak private group on there where we break news on the moment. And we're very active in there with chat, Monique, Isaac, Tom Duke, and I, lots of different people, Trevor J. If you could come in there and join us as a member, there's information there. Just find me on Facebook. And boom, you can become a Raptorsfreak private Facebook member. There's a lot of interesting stuff we drop there, a lot of information, all kinds of stuff. Tom Duke's giving him a thumbs up. Name is saying, everybody hating on Masai. I'm the opposite. Never had more confidence in Masai than I do now. Me too. Because he's got the nuts to say no. Everyone knows the hardest thing to do is say no to friends. Yeah, none of these people are his friends. He's like, fuck Brooklyn. None of these people are his friends. That's why I love him. That's why they hate him. Because he's better than them and he's on our side and they don't want that. Remember that, Raptors fans, that they hate him because he's on our side and he's the best at his job and they wish he wasn't here doing it for us. That is it right there. Nameless saying, and they're all friends. It's a tight-knit circle. Who's fucking friends as GMs? None of them are friends. I mean, we have some friends. I mean, I would say the Spurs are a friend to us. They do good deals with us. But yeah, there's a lot of teams that aren't so friendly with us. Probably. That's probably true. Tom Duke saying, share the love and good vibes for Gradey and Scottie. That's right, Tommy. Randolph saying, Lex, Nurse must be feeling horrible for turning down the Bucks. Adrian has a good chance to make his mark. Injuries can make this trade a non-effect. Let's go Raptors. Yeah, this is the other thing. You know, people have to be healthy. You know, this is a good point by Trevor J yesterday in the chat. They are now subject to the resting protocol even more so because Lillard's there. I mean, they already had it because Jrue Holiday fit it too. But, you know, in some ways, they got to worry about balancing the resting protocol that's new this year with the superstars of Lillard and Antetokounmpo. So they can't both sit out the same game. There's things they got to navigate with that are an issue. I don't know how Nick feels about this. He can't do hindsight 2020 because this was not the team and that, you know, I think he passed the Milwaukee job to really help Adrian. Adrian had like ties to Milwaukee. It's the first team he ever played for. And he has very strong ties with them. And in some ways, Nick was the first choice for Milwaukee. And he may have known that Adrian was their second choice. And in some ways, he may have done a solid for his buddy, very, very close friend, Adrian Griffin, so he could land his job. And that's a really big favor from Nick Nurse to do that for him, especially with what we know now about the Bucks roster as of yesterday. So I really do think that's what happened. I think that Nick could have taken the Milwaukee job, but he knew that it could be Adrian's instead, and he wanted to help him out, get out of the way, and let them hire Adrian instead. So I think that's how it went. Stargate saying, in my opinion, Portland finally made a good decision. They got Ayton, who's in a younger, more durable upgrade to what they had. Plus, they have options with Jrue, keep him to teach Scoot or trade for assets. They're going to trade him. They're in a youth movement. And honestly, I can't give you Ayton on that. I don't know if he's better than Nurkic. In some ways, Nurkic might be a better player than Ayton. I may say that Phoenix actually won that deal. There's a lot of questions about Ayton's work ethic and who he is. And in some ways, Phoenix got rid of that problem in this deal. They were opportunists. And not only that, They got a new center that's more defensive oriented. So I can't agree with this. I don't think that Ayton's better than Nurkic. I think Nurkic is actually a better player than him overall. So I think Portland did not do well in this. I really don't. I think they had to make the deal because Lillard demanded it, and they did kind of get fleeced for it. I don't agree with this, Stargate. We've agreed on a lot today, but I won on that. G saying, thankfully, the younger players seem more cultured and open to coming to Toronto. In fact, they seem excited like Scottie and Gradey were. Well, sure, they understand the Raptors won a championship. They saw that. They see the luster. The excitement of Toronto is big for young, small town USA guys like Gradey. Scottie coming from Palm Beach. It's a totally different world here, and he really has bought it in. He doesn't have the mentality I was talking about. He doesn't look at Canadians being less than Americans. He's an equal-minded person. In fact, he said it on Twitch last year. He's like, I don't see any difference between Canada and U.S. Everybody makes such a big deal about Toronto being in Canada, but I really see the countries as being very similar and the people are the same. So it's like Scottie doesn't see the difference in the borderline between Canada and the U.S. like Dame Lillard does. Let's just put it that way. And I love him for it. He really is like Canadians are just like Americans. We're all the same. And he really is that kind of person and walks that walk in his life, privately in his real life. So that's part of it. And Gradey, same thing. Yeah, he's excited. I mean, he's excited to be in the league. In some ways, listen, Grady Dick and his family are very interesting because they're from Kansas. They're very religious. They're kind of like, very like devout and very like into their Christendom. And, coming to Canada and coming to another country is exciting for them. I'm sure Carmen Dick kind of framed it for Grady this way. When he got drafted by us, he says, well, you're going to go live in another country and you're an international basketball player now. And in some ways, that's a luster and an excitement that's kind of cool for a small town guy from Kansas. So, I mean, I get it why they're enthralled with the Oz that Toronto is, and they should be. This is a great, fantastic city, one of the best cities in the world. It really, really is. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Thursday. Joining in late today, so happy Dame is heading to Milwaukee, and we're not losing anyone. I wonder how Nick feels now. Coaching Embiid instead of Dame and Giannis. He may not even be coaching Embiid for that long if things happen a certain way with the Knicks wanting to get Embiid. We'll see. I mean, hindsight's 2020. Nick couldn't have known this was going to happen. This is how the world is. The events happen, and there's things that echo out afterwards. And that's why Raptors fans, hold your tongue on Ujiri. You don't want that to happen. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. Carlos saying, facts, Stargate. The picks too nice. The picks were too nice. By 2027, Bucks will disintegrate and those picks will be valuable. There you go. I like that. In some ways, I agree with that, Carlo. That in some ways, the Bucks are really going for now. In a couple of years, they're going to be in trouble. What are they going to do when Giannis and Dame are around like $65 million each? What kind of a team are they going to have when their cap is like really ballooned up with just those two players? That'd be really crazy. All right, let's see what Screwface Films said. With Tom Duke has moderated them already. I'm going to give them their things. All right, let's see. Screwface Film said Raptors are still top 5 in wins since 2019. See, I love that comment. Tommy, I don't know why you moderated that. That's a good comment by Screwface Films. I agree. We've been one of the top best winning teams on the download for 10 years now. In some ways, if you take the track record of Masai over his time here, there's nothing wrong with it. There's going to be a little bit of winning and losing. We won a championship. We got all the way to the top. We haven't really had any really bombing out seasons except for maybe Tampa. And that can be, forgiven considering the circumstances. There's success around the Raptors' tenure with Masai Ujiri this whole time. That's why I want it to continue perpetually as long as possible. And Screwface, thank you for your comment. And I do not disagree with what he's saying. Raptors are still top 5 in wins since 2019. I don't know if that's exactly true, but we are top 5 in wins for like the last 10 years. If you take all in the years of Dwayne Casey with Nick Nurse, you find that we're up there with the Clippers and the Warriors and the Spurs as far as success. David's saying Dame, no matter. We win anyway, somehow, some way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if there's a way, it will be found. There you go, David Saborn. I agree with that. And that's what we do. When the world is running down, you make the best of what's still around. And in some ways, the Raptors don't have the opportunities that all NBA teams have. And you guys got to realize that when you're analyzing Masai Ujiri's job. Fiercely saying, we'll listen to the stream later today. Want to get my fam's reactions. Lex, I was on Twitch yesterday with Scottie, you and Cool Cat. I kept saying hi to you, but you were engaged in debate. Oh, I'm sorry, Fiercely. I didn't see that. I apologize that. Hi. I'm sorry. I guess I was involved in a lot of stuff. I had a lot of different things going at that time. I was not expecting Scott to be on there. So I kind of dropped everything I was working on at home. And I was kind of vicariously watching him while also trying to still do my work. So it was a kind of a weird zone. I'm sorry. I was not trying to ignore you. But I was glad to hear that you were there too. I didn't even realize you were there. I guess I really didn't see you. I don't understand why. That's weird. All the best, Fiercey, and so glad to have a ScottieBarnes Twitch family reunion yesterday. So good. Mugarbe's Lennon saying, "Good morning, Raptor Freaks. The Raptors better keep Pascal, Scottie, OG as our main guys." Well, that's what they did yesterday. Precious Achiuwa tweeting immediately after the Dame Lillard trade. What did he say exactly? I want to find that real quick. It's also Jose Calderon's birthday today, guys. Just so y'all know, we're celebrating Jose Calderon's birthday also, Raptor Great. Precious said this. This is a man, it's getting tricky. Now, I thought he meant like, all right, man, it's getting tricky. The Eastern Conference got better because Dame Lillard is now on the Bucks. I think that may be what he thinks or he's saying when Precious said, man, it's getting tricky. I also think that he may have meant it's getting trickier to get through trade season without feeling like really crazy and weird about possibilities like I'm getting traded or OG's getting traded. In fact, the last trade package did have Precious in it. The Portland Trailblazers wanted Gradey Dick, Gary Trent Jr., Precious Achiuwa, and some picks. That's what they wanted. That was the last deal that Bobby Masai had been talking about with Portland. So think about that. They wanted Precious, actually. Portland was looking at Precious also. Seymour saying, did Fred lie? Yeah, he did lie. It's caught in a lie. He said that they didn't offer him an extension at the beginning of the year, and then he said that he did recently. He said, yeah, they did offer me an extension. I declined it. He did lie. Fred did lie. ZZ's here. Good to see ZZ. I hope we get Jrue. I mean, if we get Jrue, I'll be like, okay, Masai and Bobby want to do this, but I don't think it's going to happen. In some ways, we don't need him. But if they do it, if somehow it happens for some weird way, I won't be hating the move. I love the player. He's a great player, and I'd be happy to have him in a Raptors jersey. Quick Take saying, don't take the casuals too seriously. I wish I could be like that, Quick Takes, but I realize if you have an army of a lot of casuals saying a lot of the same shit, things can happen. And in some ways, they're misinformed opinions. Populism can shape what happens. And that's why I kind of fight it by educating, critical thinking, like Cool Cat said. Let's allow these people, these youngsters and different people to learn and like understand and get more smart about things. Understand you're being manipulated if you feel anger about the Dame Lillard trade as a Raptor fan. Understand that, please, that you're being manipulated by the media if you are having any negative feelings about Dame Lillard going to Milwaukee as a Raptors fan. Seriously. Seriously. Yeah, Seymour saying, oh my God, ZZ. ZZ saying Gary Trent Jr., Chris Boucher, and Thad Young plus a second for Jrue. Ooh, I think that's too steep. I think that's too steep. And Seymour saying, no more changes, please, ZZ. Jrue is a top three two-way player. We need him. I'm not against it, but the price may be too high. And in some ways, we got a boat we're already going into. I don't want to rock it. I don't want to rock it. Darko sound like he's already got plans. He's working on these guys and working them together. And in some ways, it would shake things up. I think Jrue Holiday is absolutely amazing. And I'd be very happy with this happen. If it happens, I'll be like, damn, Masai's a badass. But I'm not putting my eggs in that basket because I don't think it's going to happen. Let's just say that. And I'm not trying to start up the next round of, oh, we need to get this person, like just what happened with Lillard. So ZZ, let's just let them do their job. And if he shows up, that'd be awesome. He's saying we don't need Gary Trent. He's selfish. And Chris Boucher. We love Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher is our only Canadian player on the team currently. And Chris wants to play in Toronto. We want to honor that. I want to keep Chris. I'm not trying to trade Chris. And saying Gary Trent Jr. is selfish, it's kind of fair, but he is supposed to be the shooter. He doesn't get a lot of assists, and he is a very good shooter. So in some ways, we want him shooting. We'll see. Name was saying, I think they drafted Scottie so high because of his team ball mentality and unselfish characteristics. And that was worth such high value alone enough to warrant expending a fourth overall selection. The other stuff is just gravy. They knew they could always coach him up. You know, that's the thing. The only weakness Scottie had was his shot. But the reason why they drafted him, sure, that stuff mattered as far as his personality. It's really his body, his physical frame, his attributes as far as how quick and big and strong he is. That's really what it was, is that he was just the epitome of a badass basketball player. And it's like you could see him in the way he was with his body, that he's just a stud, that he's just going to be so good. So it's really his body, his physical, the specimen that he is, that they drafted him on, plus the attitude and being a good kid and being a team unselfish guy. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. But the first thing was his physicality and just how strong and big and fast he is. Yeah, it's amazing. And they knew that they could add a shot to him later. They knew that you can always get guys to get better at shooting. You could always get that. Ask Pascal, ask OG. Yeah, MSJ's saying the Cowboy Mug Brothers with the skillet. That's right, y'all and your mugs and skillets. Name is saying you actually said that Italian perfetto, perfetto. Yes, Name is saying I'm proud of you. You've come so far. A little tear. Wayne Strainer saying OG and crew need to show extra grit playing for their front office who has their back and demonstrate faith in them. We got to see results. It's a business and people lose their jobs. Exactly. That's what Rico said. All this chit chat going around. They say people lose their jobs when people talk too much. And that's what Rico is trying to say at the end of that Rico Runs. So, yeah, I agree with this. And I hope these guys play the hell out of that game for Masai this year to help him better than they did for Nick last year. They really, really do need to realize that in some ways we could hurt this team worse if y'all don't perform. So y'all get out there and do your best and do it for Darko, do it for Toronto, do it for Masai, do it for the Raptors fans. That's right. I know y'all will get out there and get the results. That's the best way we can stop all this bullshit. Success breeds good stuff. And the stuff that's kind of and shaky, then it has stupid shit like what's going on right now. Mugabe saying, you were right. They don't like how an African man's running the team. I agree with this. I mean, I'm serious. There's very much one particular thing about Masai that's different than most of the people in his position around the NBA. There really, really is. And then you add in the fact that he may be the best one at the job. You don't think that people in some ways hate that? In some ways, seriously. In some ways, Ted Rogers does not want the Raptors to be so successful. In some ways, we cut into his bottom line in weird ways. And, in some ways, he wants to hold us down. And he is part of our power structure of our ownership. So can you not understand how difficult this job is for Ujiri? You don't even need the fans to be fucking coming after him like this. He's already got fucking one of his bosses coming after him for fucked up reasons. So yeah, his name is saying, take the strike, Tapa, join the dark side. Names is like, I got a strike too. Cool Cat saying, I'm so happy that you're trying to show others the machinations of the business side of the NBA. With Canada rising and also Ted Rogers' hatred of Masai, it's Larry Tanenbaum that protects Masai. I know I've seen some jabroni on Twitter saying, I can't wait for Larry Tanenbaum to sell his part in the MLSE so we can finally fire Masai. Fuck you, you fuck on Twitter that said that. Oh my God, Larry Tanenbaum, I love you. Live long and prosper. Stick with the Raptors as long as possible. And if you have a son or somebody in your family, your daughter, coming up that's going to take that seat after you, make sure that they hold it just like you do going forward also. Because, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Quick Takes is laughing at Nameless, telling him to go to the dark side. It's not all serious here. Seriously. It's so funny. Tom Dick saying Strike Force, kind of like A-Team. Who's Mr. T? Tom, dude, you're Mr. T, man. Dun, 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 dun. Nameless is laughing at David. Then he's saying, whoa, slow down, Top. I'm taking all my strikes. The same. Top saying, I was saying that your Ted Rogers assertion was correct. I disagree with Ted Rogers. Oh, okay. All right. Misinterpretation. I'm taking a strike away from Top. He's currently at 1 with Nameless. Both have 1. And all right, I'm glad you clarified. So I thought you were saying that Ted Rogers was right, that a Masai is overpaid. Instead of you're agreeing with me about what's saying with Ted Rogers. Okay, that'll get you. You know what? I'm going to give you a dunk in good faith. Just to overcorrect things a little bit in what I'm saying, Top. I know in some ways I don't want you to feel like somebody I'm pointing out or coming at too hard here. So in some ways I want to give you some love right now because this is really important about communication is to allow for different opinions and stuff like that. It's just I'm in damage control right now, and I really, really am feeling super protective of Masai Ujiri. So Top gets his first dunk and to go with the strike today. There you go. Fiercey saying, in Masai, we trust. That's right. That's right, Fiercey. And Quick Take saying at Top, apply for a position at head office. Seriously, we should go down there. Top saying, you incorrectly interpreted what I wrote about Ted Rogers. All right, well, I fixed that, and thank you for clarifying. Seriously, if I say something wrong on here, I want y'all to correct me. I am totally making mistakes sometimes, and I need y'all to fact check me. If I'm saying things that aren't right and you want to correct me, then we can do that. If it's facts, Now, if it's opinions, we can differ in opinions and we don't have to get a conclusion there. But if I misinterpret what your comment was, elaborate and I will correct it. Thank you, Top, for doing that. Nameless saying, you don't get to thank him. Enjoy that strike. Savor it. He really is like Sidious right now. He's like, feel the anger through you, Top. Yes, the strike. Yes. Nameless is so funny. He's just the right kind of antithesis to this channel in some ways. He is a real valued friend, but also a really rogue kind of funny scamp too. Cool Cat saying some Raptors fans are not thinking. Why would Dame choose Raptors offer? He would have to leave the country, his family, his friends, business, Giannis, champs, MVP, new coach, new team. Logical decision. Yeah, and I don't even know it was totally up to him. If it was up to him, he'd be in Miami, obviously. So in some ways, Portland did what they did. Miami's saying they did this despite Dame and them. No, Miami did what was the best. I mean, Portland did this was best for them. Miami's thinking that they did this despite them. It doesn't revolve all around you, Miami. Just stop fucking thinking that. The same thing for you Raptors fans. They're thinking everything revolves around us. It doesn't. I don't even think that. I don't think Dame Lillard trade should have revolved around the Raptors. If we had made the trade, then it would have. But I don't care that it doesn't. In fact, I didn't want that circus. Top saying it. Quick takes. Maybe I should laugh my ass off. I'm sure Lex wouldn't be happy with that. As a black man, I'm well aware of the racial undertones surrounding the Ted Rogers stories, so I'm not a big Ted guy. All right, seriously, I apologize for misrepresenting your comment. You could see where I kind of read it the wrong way, and it was there was an ability to misinterpret it. But listen, honestly, seriously, I'm glad that you see what I'm saying about Ted. And in some ways, does that help you understand why I'm fighting so strongly for Masai? Because in some ways, we don't want those evil forces of racism to win in this situation. In some ways, it can get to that line. Like if we want to stand on the side of racists or to stand on the side of the man who's doing a job and doing a good job for us, and he's not getting any credit and he's getting all this grief, is what I'm saying right here. And top, man, we come full circle here today. I love you, brother. And I really do value you here being here, even if we don't agree all the time. It's very important that we have differing voices here. Very, very important. Stargate saying an African man as the president, as well as an Asian Hawaiian GM. They don't like that. That's right. There's not many people in power that look like Masai Ujiri in the NBA. And in some ways, there's people that don't like it that are really gross people. People like Donald Sterling. Let's just put it that way. Donald Sterling is that kind of person. We know about Donald Sterling very much. Well, there's still probably people around the NBA that are like Donald Sterling on the down low that you just don't hear about. They just sit at home collecting money off the backs of people that they racially don't like, but they still make money off of them. It's gross. It's so gross. Top saying at Stargate, well, you can definitely see the adversity Masai has faced in the league, even on the very day he won the chip. Yeah, see what he tried to do coming on that court and that security guard in Oakland out of pocket, what he did. That's exactly right. In some ways, Masai Ujiri is critical race theory, and they're trying to stop it. That's exactly what we're talking about right here. In some ways, Masai Ujiri is like an embodiment of critical race theory. You just say, Masai Ujiri, you're just like critical race theory. They don't want to teach you down south. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. That's right. Stargate saying, love it when Lex goes into his popular spaz outs. Listen, I had this one building in me yesterday. You should have seen me in the Twitter comments yesterday, fighting the fight. I'm in an anonymous account, but I'm about to start making this account called Masai Propaganda. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fight every single person that's coming at Masai in the comments. Yeah, I got all revved up for this one. I knew I was going to come in hot today. And this one was going to be a good one. And this one is going to be about 3 hours. Yeah, this is going to be a long stream today. There's a lot to talk about. Scottie returning to Twitch, this big, huge trade. All kinds of stuff to talk about. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nuggets fans saying KD was measured at 6'10.25" at the combine pre-draft. Yeah. I mean, KD did grow up a little bit himself, too, when he got drafted by the Sonics and then they became the Thunder. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good comment. There's quite a few guys who have actually grown since they come into the NBA. Kevin Durant's the one I really remember because I remember when not Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett. I keep saying Kevin Durant, but I meant Kevin Garnett. That's where I messed up. You're trying to correct me. I said Kevin Durant earlier, but I meant to say Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett came into the league at 6'8", and he grew to 7 foot with the Timberwolves. I thank you for correcting me. Stargate saying, go Lex. Thank you. Most saying, hang on. And thank you, Neil, for the super chat, man. That's awesome, Black Hawk. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. Where's Monique? I got Monique next. Okay, Screwface Films went crazy. That's why. All right, I'm gonna see what else he said. Monique saying, "Do you have your juice jugs with you, Lex?" Inside joke. I got my water. I'm gonna drink this. Quick takes is hearing. I hear you. I don't bite's got that up. All right, let me see what Screwface said. He got in trouble with Tom at some point. Raptors are top 5 in wins. See, I don't mind that. What's wrong with this, Tom? I want to see what happens. Cool Cat saying, I always ask Scottie for more postings about Cardi. Laugh out loud. Sometimes I mention Twitch days. I ask often Scottie, and he will grant us a bid. You know, it's weird. I'm glad he didn't do Twitch all summer. And I'm glad he showed up at the end of the summer right now. This is a fine time. He's in this weird period where he's like kind of done with his summer workouts and he's just waiting for a training camp to start. He has some time and he's here in Toronto. And in some ways, he wanted to say, come say hi to us. I don't know if he's going to come back. In some ways, he was saying, I'm going to try and do this more often, guys, again. But I don't know if he's going to do it regularly during the season. In some ways, I don't want him to. It just opens up kind of avenues of bullshit possibilities for bad things to happen. And it's much better when Scott is not on Twitch regularly all the time. That summer was fun. Don't get me wrong. But in some ways, just here and there to check and just kind of like out of the blue, it's a much better way. Seriously. He gets on there. I get the bat single. I have to give major props to the benevolent Isaac Campbell, who alerted us on the Facebook chat, the Raptor Freak Facebook chat, that Scottie was live yesterday. I owe a lot to you, Isaac. Thank you. You really raised the alarm and told us that he was there. I appreciate you so much, Isaac. Thank you so much for putting that bat signal out and letting us know Scottie was on Twitch at that time. You really saved the day yesterday. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. Screwface Films. I want to see what he's saying first. Raptors are top 5 in wins since Masai took over. Yes, that is true. He keeps writing it over and over again. I have no problem with this. He's over propagandizing for Masai, even though he's spamming. I have no problem with this, Tom. I know this is cool. Actually, you know what? I'll read this over and over again every single time he wrote this because I want to beat this point through, just like Screwface Films is doing with this. Holy crap, he did this all the way down, didn't he? You're awesome, Screwface Films. I know that my mods just moderated you, but you're my friend, bro. No spamming, no spamming. Actually, I don't mind that spamming. I can read through that. It's no big deal. It's like I see that he put it like 20 times, and I love it. He really wants to make sure this point gets through. Screwface Films, you're my friend. I love you, man. David saying, "Don't worry, be happy." We got some Bobby McFerrin in here. Get me some Robin Williams. Ooh, 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 ooh. Raptors fans, don't worry. Ooh, be happy. Ooh, don't worry, be happy now. Scottie said, "Don't worry, be happy now." Yeah, David saying, "Tommy, what's up with the spammer?" Yeah, I don't mind the spammer. He's all right. He's spamming good propaganda. Yeah, Cool Cat saying, in Masai we trust and Bobby we trust 100%. David saying, ZZ, are you nuts? Gary and Boucher are selfish. Trade for Jrue? That's insane. I would say Gary is a little selfish, but I won't say Chris is. I don't think he meant Chris was selfish. He's just saying he would trade Boucher with him. So I want to make sure we represent people right today. Randolph saying, Lex, the Milwaukee Bucks reportedly offered Giannis Antetokounmpo a 3-year, $186.6 million contract extension in the days before trading for Dame Lillard. Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's a big number. Yeah, I got to figure out how they're going to manage their cap in Milwaukee. They're going to be in the luxury tax for sure for a while. Quick Take saying that attitude has made Americans an outcast in the world. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're global citizens. I'm both a U.S. and Canadian citizen. I'm a citizen of both sides of this border. And I live on the Canada side for a reason, partly because I understand that in some ways America's, like, especially Florida, is a dumpster fire. And I'm like, man, I got to get out of Florida. I decided that like 10 years ago. I knew it was in bad shape. And it's gotten even worse since I left. That's for sure. So, I mean, this is true. Like, Americans, y'all, we respect y'all and we like y'all. We really love the ideas and the principles of the United States. That there's some things about democracy and freedom that y'all talk about that is such a good leadership and important for the world to know and to be for the rest of the world in places that want democracy. I agree with all that. But in some ways, y'all are too arrogant and you think that your shit don't smell. And in some ways, y'all shit smells worse than most people in the world at this point. So let's get a little more like reality based with your place in the world, as far as like we're all kind of like equal citizens. American people should not be looking down on Mexicans, Canadians, Europeans, Asians, Africans, Australians, Antarcticans. You shouldn't be looking down on anybody. We're all citizens of the world, and we're all just as equal and valid in this whole scheme of things under the creator above. So yeah, you go ahead and start thinking you're all that in a bag of chips over everybody else. That's why we don't like you. You're like that kid at school that's like that. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Quick take saying, what the fuck? Dennis just won FIBA. Strike three, you're out. That's right. I don't understand how people can be like, what the fuck? Dennis has been a world champion and MVP. He's on cloud nine. In fact, let's go look at what Dennis is doing right now on the Instagram stories. First, we got Slim Duck, and he posts this every time some people are saying stupid shit online. He said, y'all are idiots and you don't understand the business. I think he's replying to the people I'm replying to today. Is the Slim Ducks put that up every once in a while when he hears Raptors fans talking stupid out of their ass. He posts this old man in a car who's talking crazy shit like, you don't understand the business. It's so funny, man. And this also, he's got Kanye in a meme saying, but hopefully with God's blessings, it shouldn't be no way for me to lose, really. That's what he's saying. This is what we're saying. Like, look, trust in Masai. Chris Boucher's saying on his Instagram stories that there's no way we can lose. We're going to win no matter what. This is what we've got to believe, Raptors fans. The Raptors believe this. The team believes this. The people that are going to do it believe it. Y'all need to support them and believe it with them, is what I'm saying. Scottie doesn't like y'all doubting him. Let's just put it that way. If you like Scott and you want Scott to like you, don't doubt him. He hates that. Thad Young has got his boys on blast. He said, join if you have handsome sons. So he's really proud of his sons. Good stuff. So happy to see Lloyd yesterday. He's putting on blast Dreams, Fairy Tales, and Fantasies by ASAP Ferg and Brent Fayez. Good stuff. Dame Lillard song on DeMar DeRozan's Instagram saying farewell. Dame Lillard, he's supporting his friend, seeing him going there. Gradey Dick at the game yesterday for the Blue Jays, holding up the ball with Ace, the Blue Jays mascot. And yeah, he's wearing some weird fat pants or something like that with some like it was weird. It was like he was wearing like pajama pants or something out there when he threw that pitch. Mr. New York City he was at the game also last night. Apparently, he was up in the box along with Mohamedou Gee. He's also showing that he was at that game with Gradey Dick also. So our rookies were at the game, the Blue Jays game last night with Gradey, who threw the first pitch. Pascal Siakam showing more clips from his PS43 Academy dance-off. There's this one white guy who does this one dance. He's wearing the old school Raptors shorts. And Siakam loves that dance. He gets out there. He's so hyped. He's jumping around him. And this dude's getting down. The moves were strong at the Pascal Siakam 43 Academy for sure. The moves were very, very strong. Let's see, is there anybody else? That's about it. Dennis is still traveling. And I think he's going to show up in Toronto very soon. That he's still on his way flying out. So hopefully we'll see him in Toronto very, 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 very soon. All right, let's see. Kareem Thomas saying, Lex, I had to come off social media because of X. You had to come off X. I saw you fighting the fight, Kareem. In some ways, I see Kareem in there fighting the good fight with me. Because the way people are talking about Masai and the Raptors, those microwave generational kids just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Kareem Thomas, I'm going to give you a dunk for fighting the good fight on there because I saw you. I was in there with you. Trying to, in some of the posts I saw you in there, I was trying to do the same thing as you were doing. I appreciate you for doing that, Kareem. Every little bit helps, but I know if you're getting too worked up, just step away, walk away from Twitter, because honestly, it's not worth getting that upset about it. These people are idiots, obviously. And in some ways, we're not going to be able to get through to ignorant dumbasses every single time. So Trevor J saying, I live in the U.S. all my life. Before I moved to Canada, a majority of my siblings still live there. But if I had to choose between U.S. and Canada, I choose Canada. You know, people say the weather, people say the taxes, people say whatever. I say the guns. I say the guns, first and foremost. I want to be able to go down the street to the convenience store and not have a high percentage of possibly getting shot in a mass shooting or just some random act of criminality or something like that. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. And then the very strange right-wing politics taking over the country and putting it towards fascism. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I do not want to be in the U.S. right now. No, I don't. No, I don't. If they told me they want to take my U.S. passport and make me not be American for what I'm doing over here, so be it. I don't need to come back to that country. No, I don't. I'm Canadian born. I'll be Canadian for the rest of my life. I am American, But in some ways, it's like, it's only a name right now at this point. Have no intention of ever living in the United States again. And I have no intention hardly ever to go down there other than to see my family. So yeah, that's about it. Quick take saying Scottie needed to improve his shooting. I assume he's in the lab working on it. Yeah, a lot of work with Brian Macon, work at Remy. Gary Trent Jr. still at Remy training down in Hollywood, Florida, getting a lot of reps in and stuff. Scottie definitely put in a lot of work this summer. He's very proud of it. In fact, that was one of the things he was talking about yesterday. He's like, in some ways, he's been working in silence without putting it all on blast. And he's really proud of the hard work he put in and the leaps he's made. In some ways, he's excited about the season to start because he wants to show off exactly what he's done. That's what he's kind of acting like yesterday. He's like, y'all are going to be really excited to see what I've done with my game because I'm better, y'all. He said it himself. He said, I'm a better player now than I was at the end of the season. So I'm all here for it. I'm excited for it. Name was saying his music is trash. Let's be clear. Trust me, I'm a bit of an aficionado. My friends knew Drake before he was famous. I don't know if you're talking about Dame or Drake. In some ways, Drake has his merits as an artist. I don't think he's totally trash. I think Drake's actually pretty good in a lot of ways. Lillard's okay. He's got skills. Let's just put it that way. For an NBA player, he's a very good rapper. Let's just put it that way. Shirkan saying more than 30 people in chat today. Let's smash the like button. We need to see what we have with his new roster and Darko before making major changes. The trade deadline is going to be interesting. Yeah, we're just going to let these guys do their job. Stop micromanaging Raptors Nation. Let the front office, Darko Rajakovic, have a chance and do their jobs. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. Oh, my gosh. Quick take saying, yeah, FIBA was a beauty to watch. I paid for it. See, he was willing to pay for that courtside 1821 to see all the games and to see all the – I love how all the different teams have different kind of personalities to them. You really get that feel, the international feel, when you're playing Serbia and Australia and Japan. That's a cool setting to have these teams. And it's so friendly. And there's so much love and fun and sportsmanship between the teams. Such beautiful stuff happens in FIBA Cup stuff. You see nations come together. The outpouring of love for that Iranian player that was retiring was touching. The love between NBA teammates who were on different sides coming against each other was awesome to see. Dennis Schroeder versus Austin Reeves. That kind of stuff is really awesome and heartwarming and good for the world. That kind of sports competition, like the Olympics, is what keeps world peace and keeps people having good diplomatic relations and feelings between countries. And that's why sports are important. Most saying Media Day will be very interesting. Way to go at Amit Man, Lex. I love watching him on YouTube, but that's it. Shaking my head. He's a great interviewer. And I love when he does interviews with like Jeffrey Doughton Jr., Ron Harper, Chris Boucher. He has some part in Chris Boucher's Hustle Play podcast. Now, this is the thing. Listen, Chris can't be happy with you, Amit, if you're headhunting for Masai Ujiri. I've heard you be critical of Masai a couple of times last year, and I hated you for it. And you intensified it yesterday. Why do you think? Are you not smart, Amit? Do you not understand that we did not have any reason to make this deal, that we have to make it? If it happens and with the opportunity and it works out and happens, great. But we can't say it's a failing that it didn't land or happen. I'm so sick of people saying that if the Raptors don't make these big deals, it's a failure. It's woulda, coulda, shoulda bullshit. And you do not understand the parameters of all that would happen to get it to happen, to possibly happen. So it's like, Amit, man, you should know. You're more plugged in as an insider. You should be more intelligent than this. What I would say. You should understand that, Masai's doing a good job. And you should also understand that just because he didn't get Lillard or Durant last year doesn't mean he's failing. It really, really doesn't. It's so weird. It's so weird. Nameless is saying, damn right. You give me a strike. I ain't leaving me out. Straight to the veins. You're getting a dunk for being unreasonably crazy. So, yeah, Nameless, you're getting a dunk instead of a strike. Yeah, you keep trying that. You're getting more dunks, all right? Alan Tam is here. Let's see what Alan Tam, bam, son, he has to say. Who cares about Dame? I'm glad the Raptors didn't trade for him. He's 33 years old, injury-prone, and owed, I believe, $200 million for the next 3 years. If it doesn't work out, we lost all our young players. I only trade my future for Giannis, Shea, Jokic, or Embiid, players still young and under 30. Lillard is in his final legs. Boom. Alan Tam, bam, son. Sometimes comes in here and just says, bam, son, and laugh out loud. And then he leaves. Look at this. Such a well-written, well-thought-up, comment that's exactly on point and exactly right. I may take Embiid out of that list and maybe put Luca in that list instead. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. That comment's pretty good all around in all kinds of ways. Thank you, Alan Tam. Bam, son. He just came with the right hook. That's right. Top saying at Nameless, I guess we're the strike leaders here. Getting so many strikes, we could start pitching for the Jays. Listen, man, I only do that as warnings. And honestly, I wouldn't kick you out of this channel. You got too much time and good faith. We have one bad day. People have circled around and came back. And in some ways, I get it. Sometimes you may catch me on a bad day where I'm irritable, like today, and I may take it out on you, and it's not totally fair. So top respect. And I will agree to disagree with you any day. And you're a good dude. I can tell. And I want to make sure I get your comment right and not mischaracterize what you're trying to say. So I appreciate that. Alan Tam saying also Doncic, I would trade for. See, he added it there later. Just take Embiid out and put Doncic in there. Cool Cat saying, sorry, Fiercey. Didn't see you on Twitch, ScottieBarnes Twitch either. I was multitasking. Yeah, I was too. We were both trying to work and watch Scott at the same time. In some ways, watching Scottie on Twitch is like a full-time job. It's like you have to be ready at any time. It's like the bat signal goes on, and you're like, oh, shit, he's on at like 10 in the morning all of a sudden. It's really weird. That would happen sometimes. Or there would be nights where he'd go on at like 11 p.m. and he'd be on till like 4 a.m. And we're like, oh my gosh, Scott, just go to sleep. I can tell you're so tired. But I'm like, I got to watch. That's what I'm doing for this channel. I'm watching Scottie. It's part of my job for this channel so that I can inform y'all the best what's going on with Scottie because I've seen him on Twitch and what he's doing. So that night he stayed up till 5 a.m. with Aiden Ross talking crazy stuff and Aiden Ross talking all kinds of stupid ass shit. Asking him questions like about dicks and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. And the Gradey jokes got out of hand on the Twitch yesterday. And Scottie was like, why are y'all just going crazy with his jokes? Y'all are out of control. Y'all are out of pocket. And he's like telling his mom, he's like, no, don't kick them out. They're going to do that. It's just going to be like that. Don't spare them is what he said. He was like a king. He's like, spare them, moderators. Do not banish them for making Gradey dick jokes like crazy in my Twitch chat. He was like a king. He's like, no, spare them, spare my people. Is kind of like how he's acting. It was hilarious. Let's see. Alan Tam saying, bam, son. Alan Tam saying, Dame is good. Don't get me wrong, but not for what we have to give up. Yes. Alan Tam is straight on point right now. On point, Alan Tam. Stargate saying, poor Gradey. He has no idea what he's about to get into. Wait till he sees all these groupies outside these hotels. Better stick closer to OG and Gary, not Pascal and Yak. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. He'll be fine. Man, this guy's a Christian dude. He's got a girlfriend. He's had a girlfriend for, I think, like 3 or 4 years. They're very serious. So I don't know if this is going to be an issue with Gradey. The whole thing about the Jesus Christ life is he's not going to be doing this groupie stuff. In fact, he's going to be traveling with his mom and his dad a lot. They're going to be showing up to games and being around him quite a bit. He will be his own young man also. But I don't know. I don't really see Gradey getting in trouble with women and booze and cocaine. I really don't see that in any kind of way. And I think he really is exactly what he looks like. He's just a very good, wholesome, small town guy. And so I don't really see this. Some of these Raptors probably do have this life. I will say that. Some of them do. I don't know who it is, though. I can kind of guess who it is. But I'm not going to put them on blast in this way. This content is not here to talk about the romantic relationships of the Raptors too much. I mean, on skin level, like I said, Grady's got a girlfriend, and I think they're very, very happy. I don't know if they're engaged or anything like that, but they may be secretly. Who knows? Blackhawk saying Bell will not allow Rodgers to govern the agenda. Masai is safe. There you go. In some ways, the power structure of having 50-50 Bell Media versus Rodgers is good. And Bell is probably the side that is on our side and looking out for us the best. Bell Media. Yeah, I hate taking corporate sides, but if I'm going to take a side in this one, I'm going to take Bell over Rodgers. They're both bloodsuckers and suck. But if Bell is helping to protect Masai with Larry Tanenbaum, I'm on their side. Fuck you, Ted Rodgers. Yeah. Alan Tam saying losing Barnes, Trent, and OG and Dick and 1 or 2 first-round picks for Dame at 33. No thanks. What the fuck kind of deal is that, Alan? That is crazy. That's too much. Bam, son. Oh, no, you don't do that. Dang. Yeah, Barnes will be a superstar next few years. Mark my words. Barnes will be our LeBron. Holla. Alan Tam's energy is so awesome. I love it. G saying top, the Blue Jays could probably use you guys. That's funny. Blackhawk's got the mug out for the Mug Brothers. I love it. Thank you, Blackhawk, once again for your super chat. Alan Tam saying, poor Gradey. I feel sorry. He has a last name Dick. Laugh out loud. That's the only thing I feel sorry for him. Alan Tam, I'm giving you a dunk today. You're on fire today. In some ways, Alan Tam, you've been a breath of fresh air with your silliness. And so you're getting on the dunk list. You got your first dunk, son. Bam. Cowboy saying Barnes will be Barnes, Alan. Bam. That's right. Alan Tam's like, that's right. Barnes is going to be Barnes. He doesn't want to be the next LeBron. That's right. He's going to be Barnes. That's right. Barnes will be a superstar. Mark my words. That's what he means. He means that. Bradley's agreeing with you. He just doesn't agree that he's going to be the next LeBron, is what he's saying. Chris Childs is here. Messiah. Yes, Chris Childs. Always good to see our Chris Childs, friends with NBA Quick Takes. Much respect and love to Chris Childs. Hope you're doing well, former Raptor. Yeah, G saying some of the Fire Masai people are now posting what came out, apologizing. Apparently, grain of salt. Toronto actually had the better offer, but Dame wanted Giannis and Portland wanted to do right by him. I think this is true. I think G's exactly right. Really, our offer probably was better than Milwaukee, but Dame Lillard had some say in where he landed. And that may be a big, huge part of it. I love to see that people are starting to apologize and come around on an overreaction yesterday. Very, very good. Very, very good. This is what we wanted. In some ways, we got to do a little bit of correcting of behavior in Raptors Nation with the fans. They get a little bit too like over emotional or overreacting. And thank God this is happening, G. I love to hear that. Fun guy saying, Lex, imagine getting Jrue. We'd be better than we've been since Kawhi, even better than 2020 to me, to be honest. It's like having lower level Dame with good defense and Dennis off the bench. No, I'm not against getting Jrue Holiday. If Masai can make it happen, that's what I'm saying. Masai can do his magic. Well, we'll see if it happens. If it doesn't happen, don't get upset. That's what I'm trying to say. If it doesn't happen, it may not be in the cards and it couldn't happen. And that's the thing. People getting mad at people for not making moves that they didn't make. It's so stupid. That's so dumb. So dumb. Come on now. Excuse me. A little bit of hiccups. Let me get this real quick. Yeah, if I'm going to do 3 hours, I'm going to need some water breaks. All right, let's keep going. Quick Takes is saying what up to his buddy Chris. Always good to see the Quick Takes crew in here. Always good to see you guys in here. I appreciate you guys and your patronage. Yeah. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. I'm going to get every one of these comments. I will, I promise. Cowboy is saying he's more than a superstar. He's a team leader, new face of the NBA. Beast mode. Alley-oop to Chris. All right, you want to give he wants to give an alley-oop to Chris Childs. Chris Childs is supposed to give alley-oops. Bradley's trying to take over as the point guard. Chris Childs, you are on the dunk list because you just got an alley-oop. Blackhawk saying we have so-called fans. They say Masai and Bobby don't bring in anyone. Last time I checked, Dennis and Daniel are someone's. Yes. And Jakob. No, they're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. They really, really don't know what they're talking about. They want these home runs like a Lillard. Well, what about a Jakob? What about a Dennis Schroeder? What about a Jalen McDaniels? What about a drafting of Grady Dick? What about a drafting of Christian Coloco? What about a drafting of ScottieBarnes? You know, in some ways, I was listing things on Twitter for people, a list of accomplishments that Masai has done over the last 10 years. Everybody has this perception that he's only won the championship and coasted off of that for 5 years since. That's bullshit. He's had wins left and right since the championship. As far as drafting ScottieBarnes, as far as signing and trading Kyle Lowry to get Precious and not having an aged Kyle Lowry on our team any longer. You know, the thing with Fred was a win. A lot of people are going to try and say it's a loss because he walked for nothing. That was a perfect storm that we had to navigate that we could not done anything about. Houston had opened up money that they had to spend in the salary cap on the new rules. So they had to spend and they could outspend us. There's nothing we could have done about Fred. And in some ways, it was a calculated risk that worked out in some ways because the subtraction of Fred is an addition in the long run. Y'all are going to find that out. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Bam and bam. Quick Take saying Nowitzki or Garnett. Who y'all got? In the long scheme of things, I mean, they both won championships. Man, I like Kevin. Kevin's a really good all-around player, but in some ways, Nowitzki is just something else. That's a really hard choice. I think they're very close. Very, very close. In some ways, I'm going to pick Dirk. And partly it's only because I like Steve Nash, and I know that's Steve Nash's buddy. Cowboy saying, preach on, Blackjack. Yeah, there you go, Blackhawk. Yeah. Tom Duke saying, okay, sorry about the omission of Screwface. Felt bad doing it too. Toronto Raptors 2024 NBA champions. Say it 3 times. Toronto Raptors NBA champions 2024. Toronto Raptors NBA champions 2024. Speaking it into existence, Raptors fans. That's what I'm saying. No, Tom, it's all good. He spammed. That is a reason to mod. But I'm glad I can check just in case. That's a good fan. Screwface Films, thank you for being here. And you only got modded because you spammed. Cowboy saying, call Masai, Lex, and tell him he's doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I don't need to call him and tell him that. The people know are the right people. And Masai, honestly, in some ways, we don't want to put too much more on blast on him because in some ways it's like, what is this at this point? I don't want to call him right now. He's got too much going on. He's too busy. But we will call people this year. Again, I just don't feel like it right now. I'm not in the right attitude to call Masai in a way that is right. As far as like, not that I'm going to cuss him out or anything. It's just I'm feisty and I want to be very diplomatic and positive when I call Masai right now. I don't feel like it right now. Name was saying, yes, number 1 strike leader once again. All right, there you go. Cowboy saying, trust in Masai. David saying, I mean, the message was positive, but it kind of sucks when you send 20 of the same thing. I can skip it. That's the thing. Actually, he helped me. I got through my chat quicker. I'm trying to look at the positive sides, guys. Let's see. It's fiercely saying at Cowboy, thanks for the dunk you gave me on Sunday. There you go. Assist leader, Cowboy. Mo's saying, Lex, more of the NBA policy rules information came out by the NBA and the NBA refs. Yes. Thank you, Mo. The cue card, once again, held by Mo. Monty McCutcheon on the NBA official Twitter account has released videos explaining the flopping rule very explicitly. This is really interesting stuff. I really kind of learned the flopping rule from watching these clips. So I highly recommend, if you don't follow on Twitter, the NBA official account. It's really funny. There's a tweet on there talking about Eric Lewis retiring and they're not going to investigate him. But then there's these videos explaining rule changes from last season's NBA for what the NBA is going to be doing this season. And it's very interesting. The flopping technicals can happen when a foul happens also. So there's a possibility on a play where there can be a flopping technical because somebody over embellished and was over dramatic about falling and a foul happened at the same time. So there's going to be a lot more confusing weirdness on certain plays. And in some ways, those flopping technicals are just going to be taken all of a sudden in the middle of it. And they really explain what is the difference between a flop and a proper offensive charge foul. And it's very interesting. A lot of it has to do with theatrics and overacting. They showed the examples of flopping, and they were hilarious. I'm watching them like, yeah, that is a flop. That's so hilarious. But they also said that if there is a movement with the arm into somebody and they get pushed and they fall over because of momentum, that's not a flop. So very much, if you want to brush up on the new flopping rules, go check out that account on Twitter and watch those videos. They're like 5-minute videos. There's like 5 or 6 of them. They don't just cover the flopping stuff. They're covering also something called freedom of movement. This is a big thing with this picks in the NBA. You know how guys set picks and they're doing all kinds of crazy shit, like sticking their leg out. In one of the clips, they showed Jakob doing it, and he got an offensive foul because he stuck his leg out in an unnatural way that's further out from him and impeded the person trying to beat around the screen in a way that's unfair. So the referees are going to be calling a lot more on illegal pick screens. Now, this is the thing. That kind of call helps the offensive players. This isn't helping the defensive side of things. So they are going more and more in the direction that we hate, where it's really just capitalizing on the offense. The offense is more important, and they cut the nutsack of the defenders even more. So that's what I'm seeing from this new referee stuff that they're releasing. They are still trying to encourage the offensive superstar bullshit, and they're not doing they're not going the right direction still, is what I'm saying. But definitely check those out. They're very informative, and they will teach you the flopping rule ahead of the season, so you know how to look for it and how they're going to call it. It's going to be really weird because there's going to be flopping calls along with foul calls, and there's going to be weird free throws coming from it. Now, the flops do not count as technicals. They do not count where if you get 2 flops, you're ejected. They're called unsportsman. They're called, I forget what you call it exactly, but they're not in the same category as technicals where if you get 2, you get thrown out. So if you get 2 flops, you don't get thrown out. And 1 flop doesn't count for anything. You can get like 6 flops in a game, and it doesn't matter. They're just going to be shooting 6 extra free throws. So Infamous saying, salute Lex and Raptors family. Salute to you, Infamous. Quick take saying at Kareem 100%. Cowboys saying, anytime, darling, and a team player, I play under Masai. There you go. Cowboys unselfish. Fiercely saying, no worries, cool cat. Infamous saying, who should not be named crawled from underneath a rock and is pushing to have Pascal traded now. Yeah, we knew that was what was going to happen. His new flavor of the year is going to go after Siakam instead of Fred this year. Yeah, we knew it. We called this. And that should be enough for people to know that he's not healthy or good for the Raptors. Randolph saying, Lex, Fred admitting that he was offended, offered an extension and publicly lying about it should educate our fans on the front office doing their job. And we do not know everything that's happening behind the scenes. There you go. Randolph's exactly right. Fred lied. It wasn't the front office that lied. Fred was offered an extension at the beginning of the season. He rejected it. And then during the season, he said they never offered him an extension. See, there's some bullshit going on here. There's lies going on here. The one thing we know about Masai and Bobby is they don't tell anybody anything. So that's why I usually tell people any rumors about Toronto, you shouldn't believe them because we're really tight-lipped. And we don't know whether they gave extension offers to Pascal and OG yet. That's not public knowledge. We only know if they actually signed them. So it could be that Bobby Masai go to them and say, Pascal, you want to do the extension now? We could do it now. And he's like, no, Bobby, I want to try and make Supermax by making all NBA. All right, that's your right. Okay, we asked him. It could be like that going on. It's not like they're going to make a news story about that and tell everybody that's how it happened. But it could be very well like that. They could have gone to OG already and said, OG, we'll do the extension right now. He's like, my agent's telling me I shouldn't do the extension right now. It's not in my best interest. So can we talk about this later? That kind of shit could be happening, and Raptors fans don't even know it because Masai and Bobby aren't going to tell y'all that they did that. No, they're not. They're not. So Randolph, great comment. Nameless saying they were going to sign Dame, but Drake called and said he won't feature him on an album. That's a dunk. That's a dunk. Honestly, I could see that. In some ways, Dame doesn't fit Drake's kind of style and music. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. He's not the same tier of kind of stuff that Drake's doing. Drake's on another level. Dame's somewhere that, a little bit lower. Let's see. Yeah. Alley-oop to Nameless. I'm going to give him he's got a dunk already. We're going to give him a dunk and that. All right, we'll do that, Bradley. That's fine. You want to give him 2 points. We'll give him 2 dunks. Yeah, Nameless is getting that hoop in there. Shaq Lindsay's here. Good to see Shaq Lindsay. I told you Masai is building around with Pascal, OG, and Scottie. Gary Trent is expendable. Well, I don't know. We'll see. In some ways, Gary Trent is a trade chip. And I won't disagree with you, Shaq Lindsay. Thank you for being here. Cowboys saying, don't forget about Gradey. Infamous is saying, I'm noticing that the Raps always have to give up more in trades. Has anybody else noticed that? Well, we don't, though. I thought that the trade for Kawhi was actually in our favor. If you think about it, Danny Green and Kawhi for Jakob and DeMar, that's pretty overwhelmingly good for us with the Kawhi thing. That's part of the problem. They may say that we are tough to deal with because Masai's not willing to get ripped off. And that's why, why aren't you willing to get ripped off? Masai hates you. You won't take my horrible, shitty deal. Man, just let me rip you off. No, because we don't like that. And that's part of the reason why we know this is a good front office. And some of the fans get this. And when people say, oh, the Masai's stingy, why would anybody want to trade him? A lot of Raptors fans are saying, good, that's my GM. I don't want him taking bad deals or trading our guys for shitty shit like Rob Babcock did for the Raptors before him. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We do not want that. Quick Takes is saying, next time my wife critiques my sports, I'm telling her I'm helping improve diplomatic relations. Thanks. This is true, though. Like, seriously, Quick Takes. Like, seriously. In some ways, we've helped, relations between Sixers and Raptors Nation. We've helped relations between Canada and U.S. We've helped relations between different teams and different kind of things. That's what we're trying to do. In some ways, we are uniters here, even though it doesn't seem like it. We are. We unite on the love and passion for the sport of basketball. And that's what unites a fan like the Denver Nuggets, a fan of the Celtics, a fan of the Sixers with a Raptors fan. And we do that. I would argue that for you, with you, to help you with your telling your wife that. I would do that. Yeah. Shaq Lindsay saying, as much as we want to keep Gary, it's easier to replace him than OG or Pascal. Complete agreement here. OG is a lot better than people are giving him credit. And Pascal, for sure. He's a superstar. Stargate saying at Infamous, he who shall not be named is definitely being paid by someone anti-Raptor entities, probably Ted Rogers or some pro hockey entity. Is he even located in the GTA? What is his sports background? Yeah, I was wondering. I wasn't even wondering. I think somebody told me he is in Canada, but he is from the States. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not trying to investigate him too much, but I have often thought that maybe he is somebody that's being paid by another fan base, Ted Rogers, or some other entity that's trying to hurt the Raptors. There's a lot of people that are paid to be these kind of chaos agents at this point. You think I'm being paid to do this? No, my heart is on my sleeve and it's right there over my heart. You can see it. I'm not getting paid to do this shit other than y'all's generosity. Then you send me a super chat here and there, but I'm not dependent on it. So there's none of that. He could be having somebody paying him a salary secretly to do this shit. And he still hates doing it. He's getting paid to do it. I love this so much. I have a passion to get up every morning at 9:30 and talk about this for almost 3 hours. So it's like there's differences here. And you can suss out who the real ones are if you really think about it. Seriously. Seriously. Trevor J saying, people, Masai's going to fix it. So people, don't worry, be happy. You all are mad because you're not him. You're just haters. You want to be Masai on your ESPN trade machines. Quick take saying Grady's going to give her his last name. Sorry, I had to. My first and last dick joke. Oh, that's pretty good. Quick takes. That's actually pretty good. All right, we're going to give quick takes a dunk. I think he's on here. I thought I gave quick takes a dunk here the other day. That's right. Yeah, he's on here. He's got a second one now. There we go. Quick takes is getting one for that one. That's funny. Shaq Lindsay saying everybody criticizes Masai for the lack of moves being made. He's saving money for OG and Pascal. Yes, Shaq Lindsay, a great voice of reason in here. No sisso. No sisso. Yes, Stargate saying was just kidding on Gradey. Plus, all our guys seem to be good character guys. I agree about that. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, you're being sarcastic. Once again, we know text won't get that across. Yeah, I don't think Grady's a player or any kind of guy who's out there trying to live that lifestyle. He's trying to be a very good NBA player. That's his focus. Even Gary. Like, Gary's such a thirst trap. He could get any woman in Toronto. I don't even know if he's dealing with women because he's so focused on his career. He really has been publicly said that it's like he knows that relationships can fuck up your NBA career. Like, if you're in a relationship and you're going through a hard time emotionally, you don't need that distraction. So in some ways, Gary's just having fun, making lots of money, and at some point, I'm sure he'll settle down. But right now, there's nobody serious. I bet there are people, but in some ways, it's like getting in a relationship while you're an NBA player. It can be very much a distraction and hurt your career. It can hurt your career in some ways. Cowboys got Mo on blast. He's got Darko on blast. He's got Scottie, Dennis, OG, Gradey. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Cowboys also saying, I'm back. I'm back. Who did this, Tom? What's going on? Who just came back? Cowboy just came back. Whoever gave me this membership, God bless. It was Tom. Tom gave you a membership to the channel, Bradley. It's awesome. Stargate saying, if our bench, that is our key this season, it's our bench. If Koloko can take a step, I really feel McDaniels will be our dark horse off the bench. Yeah, everybody's forgetting about that move. Well, y'all Masai haters, you're going to find out about a guy named Jalen McDaniels this season. You can be like, holy shit, I wish I knew about this Jalen McDaniels guy ahead of time. Well, you weren't paying attention. We signed this guy. We didn't really talk about him much. But he's going to show up, and you're going to be like, who is this guy? I've never seen this guy before. That's what the casuals are going to say. And they're going to be like, holy shit, maybe Masai did do a good job. And wait a second, Dennis is really good. Holy crap, Dennis is so good on the Raptors. Yeah, let's see how things go in about a month or two from now. And even if there's some losing with winning, we're going to see the signs of good progress. That's what matters. That's what matters right there. Yeah. Shaq Lindsay saying trade Gary, Chris, that, and first for Jrue, Scottie, and OG best defense in the league. Jrue. Who are you talking about, Jrue? For Jrue? I don't even know who Jrue is. Like, Jrue. Who's Jrue? Jrue. Oh, you mean Jrue Holiday. Yeah, you just spelled it Jrue. Okay, now I got it. What the fuck? No, that's too much. You can't send all that for Jrue. That was too much for Lillard. It's going to be too much for Jrue. Wayne saying, as long as Embiid is punished for throwing himself to the ground, we're good. Yeah, I think they will do it. His are going to be very interesting because in some ways he's so big and strong. In some ways, it won't look natural if some little guy comes up to him and just taps him and he falls over. He's going to get called for that. It really is if there's over dramatization and theatrics. The words that they're using, the referees are using over dramatization and theatrics. It was like, oh, that was over dramatized. That was theatrical, is what the Monty McCutcheon was saying in the clip. So if we see any like, whoa, like that, they're going to call it. They're going to call it. As soon as somebody's arms go like this and it doesn't make any sense, they're getting a flopping call. It's going to be funny because it really is like the action that will get you the flopping call is being over dramatic. Embiid's going to get those, man. Oh my gosh, he's going to get those. Yeah, there you go. Cowboy saying, Pencer is back out of the dark closet. Wayne saying, audio's gone, Lex. What? The audio's gone. Check your own machine. Okay, it's back. Okay, good. I don't know. Maybe the internet's going up and down a little bit. Who knows? Randolph saying, Lex, the Americans fight for democracy while promoting immorality. The Speaker of the House in Canada resigned for a shameful thing. Who has resigned in the U.S. in spite of all the evidence? Boom, boom, boom. That's the thing. I was worried about Canada's checks and balances in certain situations, like with Doug Ford and with this thing that happened in Parliament this week. Well, there is a system in Canada where things get done. People have to resign. And in the States, Clarence Thomas is the most disgusting Supreme Court justice in the history of the United States. This man is openly taking money. Now, a lot of those guys are, and there's corruption and morality at the top in the U.S. government. There's no checks and balances. There's no accountability. And Randolph is exactly right. How can you get behind a system that allows a Supreme Court justice to enrich himself from a donor, and then he turns around and makes Supreme Court justice rulings to help that rich person make more money? How can you be okay with that system, Americans? Your system is broken. The Supreme Court is broken. And until y'all figure that out and fix it and have accountability and checks and balances, y'all don't have democracy. You have a theocratic Supreme Court that is adjudicating, much like Al-Qaeda and the Taliban would. Yeah, I will equate the Supreme Court justices as a religious theocrats that are running the United States right now, just like the Taliban runs their side of things. They're exactly the same. Religious zealots that are doing religious things that are not for the people. Democracy for all types of people. Yeah, you go ahead and be like the Taliban. You U.S. Supreme Court. There you go. There you go. Hit that one out of the park. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Randolph. Quick Take saying, no, you're right. Sports definitely helps the world unite. World competitions. That's right. We brings us together with our differences. That's why they started the Olympics in the first place. They're sick of everybody being dead. They're like, we could do this instead of being in the Olympics. We could, instead of fighting on the battlefield, let's go and throw a discus. And we'll decide things that way. It really stopped warfare early on in like ancient Greece because they did the Olympics. Is the whole reason why they started it. Cowboys saying, trust in Lex. Let's go Masai and go Raptors. Bam, bam, bam. I love it. Kareem saying we're going to do a lot of winning early, and Casuals are going to be mad because the air conditioning at the Scotiabank wasn't high enough. Can't keep these people happy. Yeah, they're going to find some sort of thing still, even if we're successful. They're going to find something. Fiercely saying Jrue equals Jrue. I figured that out. That was weird. I was like, who's Jrue? Jrue Barry? He hasn't played in the league for like forever. And he's like the least known Barry brother, Jrue Barry. Yeah. Cowboy saying alley-oop Kareem. The roof is on fire. All right. Everyone have a blessed day. All right. He wants to give an alley-oop to Kareem for the air conditioning comment. That's a good one. Fiercely saying, in other words, player who took a page out of Kelly Olynyk's book. I love it. All right, y'all. I know I've been going and it's almost 3 hours. And Adriana just tried to call me because she thought I was done for the day, but I'm not done. Why are they saying, oh, that was before. That's Precious' birthday. Yeah, many already exist. Okay, good. We want many of those. All right, anyway, that's somebody commenting to me. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining me today for a 3-hour spiel about the Dame Lillard fallout and also ScottieBarnes returning to Twitch. Really happy to see Scottie back and see so many familiar faces in the chat. Whether it's faces that are here with us here every day or other people that aren't on our chat, they've remembered us. Durrani and Flow Kid Flower and Guerrilla Marketing and all the great regulars in Scotty's chat and his friends, Nick and Jay and Lloyd and those guys all being in there. We're talking about Chunky Monkey and all the great people from ScottieBarnes Twitch family. And I love the reunion yesterday. It was so nice. And Scott, you could tell he was like, all right, this Lillard trade talk is over. I can get online and I can be myself. And I'm not worried about my teammates getting traded. In some ways, that is part of why Scott was on there yesterday, because he's jubilant. He was happy. This trade storm had passed and he's still teammates with his good friend, OG Anunoby. Gary Trent. These are his guys. You got to understand this. When you're watching the Rico Hines runs reactions with Scottie, he's watching his own clip and he's marking on it. He loves his teammates. And he talks all about Jakob, Gary, Malachi, Gradey, Precious, all those guys on that clip yesterday on Twitch, watching his own Rico Hines runs clips. It's amazing. So awesome. Quick takes. Thank you. Enough respect, Raptor Freaks. and Lex. Thank you, Quick Takes. Give him a follow, subscribe, and give me a follow and subscribe also if you haven't already. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow for a Friday freak out. I feel like I already freaked out today, but hopefully there's nothing that gets me even more worked up for the rest of the day today so that I'm freaking out even more as of tomorrow. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Let's go Masai, baby. Protect Masai at all costs. Fight the good fight and put that name in the good standing wherever you see it. That's right. Let's go, Raptors. Woo! Wah! Ah!